Let me just do that. Fix it. Hold on. And then let that. Okay. I hope so. I hope there was substance. I don't know. I'm still watching it. Let me just fix my chat on YouTube real quick. Okay. And let that. Yeah, you guys can see it. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
And looks like
I haven't watched this part yet. Yo, if you're on YouTube, let me know if you could like hear me properly or hear like my audio properly, because I just changed my setup. So yeah, sorry, I'm sick.
Bila hijab nur without interpretation. That's why you're interpretation. That's why you're critiquing the Salaf.
It's okay.
You're critiquing the Salaf.
Let him finish.
Anyways,
so we can.
So it's going to be that interpretation is going to be bila hijab nur without the veiling of light, and that is.
Oh yeah, Intravelli, sorry, I see you want to come up, but I can't invite anyone up. I'm restricted. Hero ruined my thing, so I can't invite anyone up for like 3 days.
Throughout, oh sorry,
It's okay.
That's fine.
So again, the problem that you and I are having, my brother, is that nothing that you're saying lines up with the hadith we're reading. And see, this is what happened. This is what has to happen. Just hold on, I already gave it to you. The problem is with Muslims, you guys go away from the Quran and the Hadith. Okay. You go with interpretations that go directly against what the text says, and then you pretend like we're stupid and we can't read for ourselves what the text says.
Because I
let you go for a long time. This is my problem. So you said that you was going to answer me directly when I engaged with you.
I did. I answered two questions. The two hadith.
So what was the form? What was the form that they recognized?
What they recognize is going to be generally his attributes.
It doesn't say his attributes.
That's
it says his what?
The form is his attributes. Wait. What's the distinction between Allah and his intrinsic attributes?
Is there a distinction?
Is there? I'm asking you. That's what I'm asking.
This guy's dumb, bro. This guy is so dumb. This guy said, what's the distinction between his form and his attributes? Are you serious?
Don't believe, not me.
I'm asking you because you're the one who's going ahead and critiquing the hadith based on my paradigm. So you at least need to know what.
Right. So according to your paradigm, is Allah identical to His attributes?
Again, we don't. We believe the attributes are going to be intrinsic.
That's not what I
believe that that is going to be identical. No. The that meaning the essence. No.
Okay. So Allah is not identical to His attributes, right?
Because again, when it comes to it, they're going to be intrinsic.
Okay.
But the essence
so it doesn't say that the attributes are going to come.
You guys on YouTube, you guys can see it, right? Yeah.
Form. No. It says Allah comes in
they're
a shape.
They're going to know Him based on His attributes.
Yes or no? It says they know Him based on who the shape He comes in, not His
attributes. The shape is going to pertain to attributes.
So, okay.
What was revealed about Allah?
That's not what it says. It says that
understanding.
It says He's. See, this is my thing.
Okay, check.
This is the understanding.
In the beginning of the.
A shape is not equitable to attributes because a shape modifies the thing. Right? And the modification of a thing is not the attribute of a thing. The attributes are reducible to the essence. How the essence is modified is different from the attributes in the essence.
Wait, in the beginning of the debate. Hold on. Because you're now
okay, so now I'm going to have to talk. So I guess I have to talk over you.
Did
now?
I tell you I'm a Salaf?
So it looks like I've got to talk over the Salaf.
No,
so
the Salaf. I'm from the Salaf.
So according to this brother, because I don't want to have to do this. I want us to keep talking how we were talking. So according to you, Instead of what the text says, you keep saying, this is the understanding. I don't care how you understand it. I only care about what the text says. If the text says Allah comes in a shape, not as attributes, when it says Allah came in a shape and they didn't recognize it, not as attributes, then stop changing the text like you hate it.
Perfect. Now I'll respond to that. Now, in the beginning, I'm a Salafi Athari.
Jesus Christ, this is so loud on my ears. Is it like loud for you guys?
Throughout this debate,
maybe it's just like his voice is annoying. Right? Let me just put it down a bit.
There's going to be an internal critique. I'm going to appeal to scholarship. He granted that. And even in general, you quoting a hadith,
Did I grant that that was correct?
Quoting a hadith, you can critique. That's going to be an internal critique. External, I mean. External granting, but we'll get to that. Wait.
It's an external critique. That's the whole point. What the fuck?
I'm going to appeal to the Salaf and, again, scholarship in general. Now, the second thing he cannot track, him granting the hadith in the first place is going to be granting the scholar that narrates it. So when
how do you finalize
when the scholars, how do I finalize that? Based on who narrates it? Bukhari. We can go to Bukhari and Abdul Barr, who also narrates and explains some of Bukhari's statements. We can go to Ibn Hajar, who brings Bukhari's statements. But again,
are these Bukhari's statements or Muhammad's?
Wait, Bukhari's statement on the hadith itself, understanding tafsir.
Yeah, I'm just asking, are these Muhammad's words or Bukhari's?
No issue, I can tell you. The matan is going to be Muhammad's words.
The matan?
The writing in white.
So these are Muhammad's words?
You see here, the writing in white is going to be the matan. The grey is going to be tafsir and isnad. So the isnad is
the
here.
chain and all that?
The chain and the
so the actual narration,
now,
the actual
I'm
thing
telling
is
you
Muhammad's words.
You cannot bring me any narration that which a scholar from the Salaf or the Muhaddithin explain. Now, that exposes your hypocrisy.
Sure.
Because, again, your logic is that everyone following a denomination within Christianity, within any belief that appeals to either apostolic succession or some sort of knowledge succession, which in Islam, there's going to be munawalatul ilm, which is a transmission.
What? Knowledge succession? Huh? What are we talking about?
Of knowledge that they're gonna be incorrect in their understanding.
Why?
I think he means like information, some sort of like communication of information, just to be charitable.
Why? Because again, you're saying, why would I grant you your understanding or your scholar's understanding when the hadith says this?
No.
But that's granting that your understanding.
All right, let me break down to you my position.
Go ahead.
My position isn't that apostolic succession is wrong in and of itself. My position is that apostolic succession is in line with Scripture. It's in line with so nobody who comes and says, "Hey, I follow the apostles," and they go against the text, actually follow the apostles.
If what they quote from the apostles contradicts, can what they quote from the apostles contradict the text?
No.
Perfect.
Nothing that the apostles say. That's my point.
Perfect.
Let me finish my answer. I was the one talking. I let you give a whole spiel.
Go ahead.
So nothing that the apostles say go against the text.
Perfect.
If somebody is coming to me and saying, "Hey, the apostle said this," and it contradicts the Scripture, which is apostolic, then no, the apostle never said that.
Perfect.
Which is why Gnostics were called out. Which is why all these disbelievers were called out, who tried to say that they were part of apostolic succession, and they were cast out because they were fake. My point is that when you come and you're saying, "Hey, Muhammad says one thing,"
Akala logic is cooking. What?
Our scholars have a different understanding than what is blatantly said.
I didn't say different.
Yeah, you did.
I said the explanation of what a shape
Only
is.
issue is logic. It's not just the Scripture. It's the church. That's the only issue. But you're cooking though. You're cooking.
He will appear to them.
Does it say that Allah is going to come, or does it say his
appear
attributes?
to them in a shape?
So does it say Allah is going to appear, or his attributes?
Perfect. I'm going to get to that. Okay, how do we describe?
I know that was a perfect question, bro.
How do we
understand?
understand what Allah is, or what shape He would take?
That's a good question.
Perfect. I'm asking you.
No, don't ask me.
I'm asking.
I'm not the
Because you're the
Salaf.
one critiquing.
I'm not the. Allah doesn't tell you.
Yes, He does.
Oh, really?
Allah
What is
tells
it?
us go to the Prophet.
What
The
is
Prophet
it?
tells us my ummah will not unite upon misguidance.
So what is it?
The ijma' of the Salaf
Tell me, what is it?
we understand Allah through His attributes.
So what is he?
Yes, perfect. Allah has certain attributes like having yadayn, hands. He has a shin.
What is he is what I'm asking.
Yeah. In of himself.
Yes.
We believe Allah's God. We don't believe He's going to have
what is
something.
that?
We don't believe God in of itself is going to be a title. We don't believe He's a spirit.
A title for what?
The create, meaning some form of existence.
Some form?
Okay,
What is
perfect.
that?
We're not Christians where we liken it to a spirit.
I didn't ask
we
you that.
hold that God in of himself is going to be an existence.
Just answer his question. Bro, well, we don't hold to a Christian paradigm where we're going to liken him to a spirit. Okay, so what is he? And by the way, there's only two ways something could exist. Either by being spiritual or by being material. So if he's not a spirit, he has to be material. Because being a spirit is just to be immaterial. To not be immaterial. To not be material. So...
Okay, what existence?
God, that is it.
Are you in existence?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, what
And
is
I'm a
God's
human.
existence?
I'm a human.
Exactly, that's what
Perfect.
you
And
are.
God
So what is God?
Perfect. God is a God. God in
No,
of
that's
itself.
not-
Yeah.
Yo. God is a God. No way. What is a table? A table's a table. Yo, he's hilarious.
A human is the use of a human.
Based on essential properties, and then you could tell
Which
me,
is gonna be
and then you could tell me what that thing is.
Essential
So when you
properties.
say God, what is that?
Do attributes.
What is Allah?
Are attributes going to be consistent with essential properties? Are attributes essential to God?
Depending on what you're asking.
God having love, is that an essential?
He could have just said the set of attributes that constitute God. That's all he has to say. Like, the set of attributes that constitute God. That's what he is, the set of attributes. But he keeps going on attributes because he just doesn't understand what he's saying.
Yes.
Perfect. God
is love.
God being all seeing.
No. Yes.
Okay, so on. These are all essential properties. If any of these properties are missing, that's no longer God, right?
But okay, but when
That's
you say,
what we're referring
but when you,
to.
I understand. You're saying that these are qualities or attributes that make that qualify for the title God. But what is that existence?
Okay, that existence, again, we believe that God in of itself is an existence. And what is that God? That God, its existence is
You
going to
just
be
said
based...
God is a title.
Yeah. No, it's both a title and form of existence. He's not P.
No, don't say I can't track.
Yeah.
You're not tracking what you're saying. You're
God,
just using the same
their
word.
existence is going to be based on essential properties.
But
All
what
knowing, all
is
seeing.
that? What is his essence?
What is
it?
What is his essence?
Yes.
Yeah, his essence is going to be ma kulli shay min nafsi.
What does that
According
mean?
to our scholars.
Nothing like
Whatever,
creation?
Everything, that which is himself. That is all, whatever, everything, shay, thing, whatever that is within himself. Nafsi, himself.
What is that? That's
Yeah.
What? Okay, so what is Allah? Whatever that is in itself. What? Whatever that is in itself. Whatever? So like a table in itself? Like that doesn't provide some sort of like logical exclusion to determine Allah as like, and whatever that thing is that you're calling Allah, that's gonna differentiate from some like car or dog or whatever. Like that just doesn't tell us anything.
Brother, that's not asking my question. When I ask what is Allah, and you say Allah is that which whatever it is that.
No,
that's not answering
Allah
the question.
is, wait, essence.
Persons
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
this guy's
Perfect.
cooked.
What is it? What is the essence of Allah?
Exactly. The essence of Allah doesn't do anything.
I didn't
It's
ask
not
what it
something.
does. I asked what is it?
Perfect. It's going to be himself. What does an essence pertain to? According to our scholars, Ibn Taymiyyah
So like
says-
for example, you know how I say that God is spirit in essence, right? So we have a designator for what we say God is.
But again,
what would be yours?
we don't believe that God is spirit.
I know,
We
I'm
believe-
saying what will
in
be
our
yours?
understanding, yeah, perfect. Spirit is going to refer to jinn or something like it.
I didn't ask-
Now
I didn't
God,
ask that, bro.
Now God, okay, wait, I'm getting to it. Now God, his essence is going to be the same way you're using spirit to describe it. We use God to describe it. That's the thing.
So God in and of itself is an essence.
Allah is an ilah, meaning a God.
Is it immaterial or physical?
Immaterial, physical, we don't have to attribute either to him.
So, brother, it's either or. It's either he's a physical being or he's an immaterial
No,
being.
because we believe he agrees haqiqatan, but he exists, again, above creation. So
what does that mean?
Okay, for example,
is he physical or immaterial?
Does God
This
exist?
was the same problem that I had with this guy, bro. This was the same issue. What he's saying is absolutely meaningless, bro.
Before time.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So
before, how can something exist before time when before
because
is
he's
time?
eternal. He's infinite.
No,
So he can
you're
start
saying
time.
he exists before time,
So
before and insinuates time.
That's not getting away from this.
No, that's just
when you say
philosophy.
no. When you say that you're talking about God's attributes. We're talking about what he
Ilah,
is.
meaning
all
being
that
a
kind of
god,
stuff.
in of itself is meaning a modality of existence. Allah is an ilah, meaning a god. La ilaha
What is that?
illallah. Right? What is a god? It is that which has the essential properties of God.
Oh my god. What is a god? It is that which has the essential properties of a god. Okay, so okay, what is God? It is that which has essential properties of whatever it is. Bro, what is God? Is that which has essential properties of a god. But we're still trying to understand what a god even is. Like, what the fuck? I'm trying to I don't understand. How does he not understand that?
What is a god? It is that ilaha
What is that?
illallah. Right? What is a god? It is that which has the essential properties of God. All hearing, all seeing,
So look,
all knowing.
like when you say
Yes.
that you
I'm trying to see when Sig comes in. I want to see Sig cook this kid.
exist,
See it.
immaterial things exist in reality.
Yeah, but we don't believe, again, when we're talking about existing, can you see something immaterial? Haqiq. Right, again, you cannot
Right?
see them.
Exactly.
Material is subject to atoms, yes or no? Something existing materially is going to be subject to
GG.
atoms
Yes.
and time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Is God subject to any of these according to
Is yours?
No.
Ah.
I mean, we don't even believe time is going to be something.
So he's immaterial.
We believe time is conceptual.
So he's immaterial.
Perfect. No, that's why I alluded to the question. It's a fallacious question in of itself.
It's not.
Does God exist before time? Time. So when you're saying God exists,
Okay. Before insinuates time. Oh my. If Sig does not cook him on that, bro, you better cook him on that stupid statement.
perfect. Before insinuates
I don't know.
time. So when you're saying God exists before time, that question
Do you
doesn't
agree
make
with
sense.
that? Do you agree that Allah exists?
I don't believe time in of itself is an existence. I believe it's a concept.
So when
So 3, 2, yeah, he got the answer. So like he was thinking, downloading where to attack,
I don't believe time in of itself is an existence. I believe it's a
and found it.
concept. No, it's conception.
So is it immaterial?
Yes, it's going to be something conceptual.
Hold on. So
Oh.
it's conceptual. I'm just asking.
I don't believe time exists in haqiqatan, in reality.
Time is
And there we go.
said it's immaterial, correct?
Oh
Now
my
we're trying
days. Oh.
to ask whether Allah is immaterial, just like time. Because now you've 1 second. Now every single person here was waiting for something very specific. We
Okay.
didn't know whether you believe that there were immaterial things or not. Now that you've said that time, i.e., concepts can be immaterial, and those concepts can bear some sort of resemblance to reality. For example, my thought could be true, right? I could actually have a thought that exists. Okay, good. So there can be concepts that exist that are immaterial.
Yo, the IQ difference be frying me, bro. He's trying to track. Yo.
My thought could be true, right? I could actually have a thought that exists. Okay, good. So there can be concepts that exist that are immaterial.
No,
now,
I didn't concede
is
that, I'm
Allah?
not sure.
Do you
I'm
agree
gonna
with that?
respond.
Do you agree with
Can
that?
I respond?
Okay, go on. Do you agree with
Okay,
that?
no issue. I don't believe time in of itself is going to be something. Yes, your point. I'm responding to it.
What's my point?
You were saying that certain things can exist immaterially but bear resemblance to creation or reality. Yes or no?
Not just creation, just reality. Because I don't think logic's created. Do you think logic's created?
For example, no.
Do you think the law of identity is created?
I'd say our thoughts, meaning our brain is going to be
not the thought of the law of identity, what the thought corresponds to, which is the truth that A equals A.
He's cooking. Oh, that's like correspondence theory.
Truth exist.
Yes.
Okay, is that physical?
We can establish it physically, yes.
You can establish it physically the same way an atheist would say that. Is it physical? Yes or no?
No issue.
I know, great no issue, but yes or no though, please. Like, it's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not yes or no.
Yes or no.
He's already cooked. The aura's already gone. The Muslim kid now, he's got nothing now. Like, even the Muslims, they don't know what to say.
Is that physical?
We can establish it physically, yes.
You can establish it physically the same way an atheist would say that. Is it physical? Yes or no?
No issue.
I know, great no issue, but yes or no though, please. Like, it's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's not yes or no.
Yes or no.
That's not a yes or no.
No, it is a yes or no. It's either a physical thing or it's not. I don't know.
Time in of itself. Time in of itself.
I mean, he gets. I don't even know the guy.
Time in of itself is going to be. Time in of itself is going to be.
Hey yo, what the f? Why is the guy catching strays? Sig, man. Yo. He should have never agreed, bro. What? The guy should have never agreed. Bro said, I didn't even know the guy. The guy's bald. I didn't even know the guy. And he just took it like, what?
Oh, yes or no?
No, it is a yes or no. It's either a physical thing or it's not. I don't know.
Time in of itself. Time in of itself.
I mean, he gets. I don't even know the guy.
Time in of itself. Time in of itself is going to be conceptual.
I get that.
Okay,
but
perfect.
I just want you to again. Time. We're not talking about logic. The law of identity, which you believe corresponds to reality.
Does it exist physically?
Is it material? Yes or no?
No, it's conceptual.
Is it physical? Yes or no?
No, it's conceptual.
So it's not physical. So it's immaterial.
Perfect.
So let's talk about the concept of the law of identity. What we think about.
Can we substantiate?
What is the law of identity? The law of identity, A equals A. The classical one. Let's just do the classical one because everyone understands that. 1 + 1 = 2, everybody. Congratulations. Okay, 1 + 1 = 2. The actual truth of that, not my conception of it. The truth of that, does that exist? You said yes before, don't change.
I said, again, does it exist conceptually?
Does it exist?
Does the substantiation
not the concept, not the concept.
Not the concept, yeah,
the truth itself.
The substantiation, yes.
So the truth exists
the substantiation
in reality.
of that concept.
The substantiation, by the way, guys, is the truth of the thing. So the truth of the concept exists in reality.
Yes, yes. 1 + 1 exists in reality.
Is it physical?
Is 1 + 1 physical?
Is it physical? Yeah.
The concept itself, no.
Not the concept, the truth.
Again, I'm saying.
I love the fact that we can all talk the same way now. The truth doesn't exist.
The substantiation.
I'm help, brother. I'll help God. Logic. God. Do you understand what he's saying?
Damn. Bro's getting fried, man.
Dude, come on, man. What are we doing, man? 1 + 1 = 2. Is it physical?
The substantiation, meaning the truth of it, yes. The substantiation.
It's physical? So wait. Okay. Let's just roll that back. Sorry,
substantiation of 1 + 1.
One more time.
No issue. 1 + 1, meaning the substantiation of 1 + 1 in reality. Yeah. So I grab one apple and I plus one apple.
No, the apples are physical. 1 + 1 = 2.
I'm saying the substantiation.
No, the substantiation is the actual truth itself. 1 + 1 = 2. Not the apples, not the oranges or the bears. I want to know whether 1 + 1 = 2
Can you define substantiation real quick?
Substantiation, either the evidence that are being given, but what we're talking about specifically here. 1 second. I know it's perfect because I'm saying it. Now, here's the thing.
Damn. I know it's perfect because I'm saying it. Sick. Damn.
Given, but what we're talking about specifically here. 1 second. I know it's perfect because I'm saying it. Now, here's the thing. 1 + 1 = 2. I just really want to be clear with you, my friend, because you're kind of giving my friend a hard time here. I mean, he's trying to sell merch. Look what you're doing, man. Come on, man. What are we doing?
The merch
here's the problem. The merch is great. Now, here's the thing. The problem that I have with you is we're not talking about proving 1 + 1 = 2 by grabbing 2 apples. Everyone here wants to know whether 1 + 1 = 2 itself, not the concept, not the thought, Not the proof you would give for that thought, the actual truth itself. Is that
The truth
physical?
itself is tied to the concept, so no, that isn't physical.
The truth is tied to the concept.
Meaning, yes, but again, the truth, meaning 1 + 1 is going to
Yes.
be tied to the concept. So we substantiate.
Is it tied to our concept?
Again, general.
Is it tied to our concept?
The concept.
Okay, so again, the concept
Yes.
is not our bearings because 1 + 1 = 2
Yes.
was still true when there were no angels, jinn, or humans. So just
Yes.
Allah. When Allah was thinking about it, was it physical?
When Allah was what?
Yeah, when he was thinking about 1 + 1 = 2, was that physical? The concept existed in Allah's
Can you
mind,
prove
right?
Allah? Can you prove Allah thought
Allah,
of 1
I
+
didn't.
1?
Oh my god, he switched the topic. That's not the point, man. The point is whether the concept existing in the mind of Allah is that physical. Like,
Ask it. I said the concept exists in
You
his
just
mind.
said you directly again.
Yeah, the true
Did Allah
proposition.
think 1 +
Yeah,
1 is
the
2?
true proposition 1
The
+ 1
true-
= 2 is in Allah's mind. Are you saying it's not?
Again, you're substantiating thought in of itself.
Are you saying it's not?
Do we
in
believe
his
Allah
mind?
has a human thought?
I didn't say that. I said 1 + 1 = 2 isn't a human thought because we already established that 1 + 1
But you're
= 2
saying in his
even
mind.
when humans don't exist. So in Allah's mind, did 1 + 1 = 2?
We don't believe in the same sort of thought process. for
Never
Allah's
said you
humans.
did. Never said
So
anything
yes,
about discursion.
According
did
to
1
Islam,
+ 1 = 2 in Allah's mind?
yes, meaning 1,
Yes, there you go,
X
thank
and
you.
X, if you were to add them together, that would be
Well,
two
those,
things.
okay, so again,
Yes.
the 1 + 1 = 2 that's in Allah's mind, is that physical?
Is what physical?
The 1 + 1 that equals 2 in Allah's mind,
No,
was
'cause
that
again, it's
physical?
still a concept.
So it's immaterial for Allah, correct?
Okay, wait, the concept, yes. But when we're
The
talking
truth
about the
itself that is
attribute,
tied to the
that
concept.
doesn't follow.
The
'Cause
truth
the
itself is
attribute-
tied to the concept. That truth be immaterial. Was that immaterial?
Okay, now I'm going to respond to that.
Yeah.
You're trying to do tashbih, which goes against our creed. You're likening the concept of
I
physics.
actually said that there's no creation.
Again, you're predicating your understanding to Allah's attributes.
Didn't do that.
Okay.
You
again,
already agreed with me.
We're
that the
talking
concept
about
of 1 +
attributes,
1
yes or no? Are we talking? Was the
This is
initial
what we're talking
context
about now.
attributes?
We're talking about this
Was the
particular
initial
dialogue
context
because-
attributes,
and you're
yes
going
or
to
no?
keep repeating it
Was
because
the
it's the
initial
one thing
context
he thinks he
attributes?
actually got over me.
No.
Now here's the thing that
Is
we
the
have.
initial context
We
attributes?
need to the context is attributes and how it relates to Allah, and this is the part of the context. Perfect. I know. I'm
We
perfect. Now
don't
here's the thing.
believe
Let's
in
continue.
tashbih.
Here's the you have.
Go ahead.
We are not talking about the concept. You said concepts are inherently tied to the truths that represent them. The truth that represents that particular concept, that truth, not the concept, that truth, because you can still speak on that even though there's a concept, that particular truth is that physical.
No.
So you believe in immaterial things,
Okay.
just like
no
God Logic
issue.
told you.
I'll
you did.
respond. Perfect. There has to be something, two things to exist for that truth to be established.
Established as in proven or as in for the
Proven.
truth? No, we're not talking about it being proven.
Again.
We're talking about it existing.
Perfect. But in of itself,
Does
this
it
is
exist in
asking-
reality?
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
we already said
Track.
that, and you believe that it's immaterial, like
Track.
we've all recorded. Now, here's the problem: I am tracking, and as a matter of fact,
Yeah,
if I
but
can't
track
track that,
my
it's a you issue
conversation.
because you're not able to tell me what you're
My
actually talking about.
conversation with him.
So,
did
here's the
I
problem.
say and I use? I'm going to steal man the argument I used against him.
You're not gonna
Again,
respond to my point.
Does physicality predicate atoms and so on to something? Yes.
We're
or no?
talking about whether or not we can have
Meaning
immaterial
something.
existences, and you agree with that point. This is why we're not going to
Okay.
get bogged down on atoms. I'm asking you whether your God's physical, and you can't tell me.
Okay, we don't affirm physicality. We affirm Arabic word
So
called
he's- so he's
haqiqatan,
not-
meaning he
Haqiqatan.
affirms.
it doesn't matter about whatever word it is. If it's not physical, it's immaterial, bro. So if the word is just signifying that it's not physical, it's immaterial. If it's signifying that it's physical, then there's no reason to bring up the word in the first place. Like, what? But he just said it's not physical anyways. So it's immaterial.
That he's real. Is that reality physical?
I don't believe that reality is going to be based off of that.
Is Allah physical?
I don't believe that reality is going to be based off the
Hey, I'm going
concept.
to ask you God logic. Is God physical? Hold on 1 second. God logic. Is God physical?
No.
I do believe God is not
Hey,
physical.
1 second. Is he God physical? Absolutely not. Christians, is God physical? No. Okay, see how clear that was. Answer. Is God
It
physical?
means atoms and so on.
So he's
But I
immaterial.
don't hold that he's immaterial, meaning he doesn't exist haqiqatan.
Sorry, so
He's
you don't
immaterial.
think he's immaterial?
No, I don't believe he's completely immaterial.
So
meaning
is
you cannot
Allah material?
perceive him. Yes, Allah is material.
So
but-
you're-
Oh my gosh, the concession. The concession. Oh, the concession. The concession. This is where it's over. Like, it's just. So finally, we got you to confess your sins. We finally got you to confess your sins, man. You need to get baptized.
No, I don't believe he's completely immaterial.
So
meaning
is
you
Allah
cannot perceive
material?
him. Yes, Allah is material.
So your God is matter. Thank you.
The whole thing he was dodging. Yo.
I want to ask you.
Shaq, can I
The
respond?
great part. No, it's my turn
Can I
now.
respond?
It's my turn.
You didn't even. You said yes
Here's
or no.
the thing.
We believe he's going to
I'm gonna
exist
let you finish.
haqiqatan, meaning in reality. If by physical you mean
Material.
attributes.
By haqiqatan, you mean material,
Wait,
correct?
no. If by
Oh.
I'm now trying to track.
Physical. You use the word physical.
I said
By
material.
physical,
No. Did I say
If by
physical?
physical,
I said
you affirm physicality.
we
to
both
your God.
agree. We both agreed just now. When I asked everyone, I said, "Is God physical?" Everyone said no. I'm going to ask again. Is God material, everyone? No. Now. We asked you, is God material? What did you say?
Again, we make a tafriq between.
No. What did you say?
Okay, perfect. Shaq, we make a difference.
Bro said track. Okay, perfect. Track standing for please don't cook me. Please take it easy on me.
What did you say? We make a differentiation between physicality.
No, but what did you say?
Wait, we make a differentiation between physicality
And
something-
materiality?
Okay, perfect. And something existing.
Is he material? Is he material?
Okay, if by material you mean you can perceive him with
No,
the
that
five
he's material.
senses.
By what material means?
If by material you mean atoms, meaning physical, no.
Meaning material.
No.
What's the difference between material and physical?
Perfect, no issue. I'm saying
It's
by,
never an issue until it's time to explain. Go on.
Again, I'm saying how you define it. Because I'm using the word haqiqatan, but you're not accepting the
I'm
word.
not existing. I mean, clearly not.
You're not
For this
accepting the
conversation
word.
Anyway. Here's
You're
the
not
thing.
accepting
So
the word.
here's the problem. We all know that material and physical, they have the same sort of coextension. If something's material, it's physical. Could you give me the example of a material thing that's not physical?
Sorry?
Give me. I'm gonna lean into the mic. Just give me a
Okay.
sec. I don't have one, right?
The material thing is physical.
So, give me an example
Yes.
of something that's material that isn't physical.
Perfect. I don't need to because I don't really.
He doesn't need to. Hey, everyone clap for him. Round of applause. Everyone clap for him. Everyone clap for him.
That's it, man. Yo, this Dexter guy's poop, man. This guy's so poop. Yo, where's my video of that guy, fam? He got pooped. Oh. He's so bad, man. But I wanted to watch this actually. Wait, what are you saying? You cooked that Unitarian? Love. Where was the thing that I wanted to see? No, it wasn't that. It was. What the heck is my watch later thingy? Oh yeah, this one.
You, just you, building your app on base 44.
Stop
What?
cutting me off. So let me tell you.
I
So
said it
clearly,
can't
you
mean divine
Can you
nature.
Can you stop cutting me off?
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet base 44.
What's the argument for that?
The argument for the definition?
I wouldn't say that's the only implication of the word injury. But
No,
how, does,
that's
how does
just-
that? So
Well, this is just premise
let me
one.
just get
The
this straight. No.
argument for the definition. Yo.
I don't even agree. It could imply that, but I don't think
That's just the
injury is as-
definition of injury.
Yeah, but
That's
what does injury have to do with someone's right?
So,
So
in,
just one second.
in
If
regards
I-
to law,
So just
well,
hold
you
on.
asked me a question.
Just
but okay.
hold on. Yeah, I'm following up.
Mhm.
If me and you are in war, okay, and I injure you, did I take away your right?
No, so when we're using injury and
I know, but
we're
just
using
answer.
yeah,
that.
I said no. I said no.
Okay, so the word injury doesn't give that detailed explanation of what you said.
I'm trying to explain to you. So when there's different ways in which a word can be used, obviously. So
Yeah, so that's
injury.
why I disagree
So for
with
example,
that usage.
hold on. Okay, that's ridiculous, Libiano. So
What's ridiculous?
so for example,
That
the
I
word
disagree with that
for
usage of
example,
injury? You already
for example,
agreed.
the word right, right? You can say right like meaning correct. You can say right meaning your right hand. You can say right in regards to something that is owed to you, right? So all of those
What does
things
the word
are
injury have to do with something?
okay.
that is
So in
owed?
regards to so in regards to law, when you use the word injury, it's going to refer to the violation
I
of
don't
a
agree.
strict right.
I
That's
don't agree. What's
what
the
the
argument?
word.
That's literally what the word means, you dumbass. How can you disagree with what a word means? Is he slow? Yo, what the fuck? Yo. If I name my child, Rihanna, and I tell someone my child's name is Rihanna, what does that mean? Yeah, it means my daughter. And he's like, I disagree with what that word means. I disagree by Rihanna, you're trying to call your daughter. Bro, what? How do you disagree with what a word means? I don't understand that. What does he talk about?
Okay, so in regards to law, when you use the word injury, it's going to refer to the violation of a strict right.
I
That's
don't agree. What's
what the
argument?
word means.
All right, what's the argument for that?
What's the... Oh my god.
Argument for the definition?
Yes. Can you show me? Can you
He
show
said yes! Can I prove that the definition is true? What the fuck?
Could you show a definition, a cohesive, exhaustive definition that links the word injury with taking someone's right?
Yes. Right.
You're already flopping, and you're on premise one. I mean,
no one's flopping. You have no idea what injury means.
Can you give the definition then? Because I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I just gave you the definition.
All right, where can I find it?
So you could look up like what does
All right,
injury
where do I
mean?
look up?
You can
All right,
look
what
up what
does
does
injury mean? Here we go.
What does injury mean in law?
Injury mean in law. Here we go.
Wait, that's just...
An injury, any harm or damage caused to a person's body.
In law.
Yeah, in law. Here, do you want me to share my screen? All right, here, let's share my screen.
What is he talking about, bro? Oh my god.
So this is already flopping on premise one, just because you want to be a sophist. Here we go.
A sophist?
Yeah. So in law, that's just what the AI overview is giving me right away.
I can't see anything.
That's not even how you pronounce the word, isn't it? Sophist? A sophist?
An injury is any harm, detriment, or damage caused to a person's body, mind, reputation, or property due to unintentional acts, negligence, or omissions of another. It constitutes a violation of a legally protected interest, serving as the basis for civil lawsuits to seek compensation.
You see how is the
see how the just cooked himself
of a specific. It's not talking about personal things like somebody being harmed.
So where does it? So
it's
where
in
does
regards to the violation.
So where does it say here that, and if I injure someone, that means I'm taking away their personal right?
What? It's something that like it's like owed to them. That's what you mean by rights.
Okay, so you do agree that injury in of itself does not entail taking away someone's right, just so we don't get stuck up.
That's literally what you just read, bro. When it's talking about the violation,
that is exactly what I just read.
What's the thing that's being violated?
So Elijah,
what's the thing that's being violated?
Pay attention, because every time I talk to you guys on TikTok, you guys are
Oh my gosh, this guy loves preaching, man. Just get to the point.
illiterate.
I'm not even on
historically illiterate.
I'm not even on TikTok.
You're biblically and historically illiterate, and you want to play games. So just to save you the
This
time
guy's
from your
just-
blunder, can we agree that
Yo.
an injury in of itself does not entail taking away someone's right?
That an injury in regards to either way it goes, like this doesn't even matter.
I know
because-
it doesn't. That's why I'm just confused why we're so stuck up on this right now. It does actually doesn't matter at all. So let's
Then
just
why,
move on.
if I'm
Injury-
telling you that this is what injury is, if I'm
it just-
telling
but
you that this
it-
is
but
what it
it's-
means,
but it's just not. It's just not how we use it conventionally. It's just people don't use the word
injury
injury
means
to
multiple
take away
things.
someone. Okay, injury could mean multiple things, but I'm saying the way we use injury. Okay, I've never heard anybody use injury to refer to taking away someone's life.
Because you're dumb and you don't read literature? What? People talk like this in law all the time, or in ethics.
Or someone's right, dude. Okay, so that's fine. We could just move on, and you could make your argument. We don't have to use the word injury. But you asked me, do I believe God is just? Okay, I believe God is just. What does this have to do with proving Christianity to be true?
Yeah, hold on, give me 1 second. Like I said, I'm at work. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So, God has the strict right to be the ultimate end of every rational creature's moral action.
Okay.
Right? That's something that's owed to God, right?
In other words, only God has the right to be worshipped.
Okay, cool. Sin is a creature preferring a finite good over God as its final end.
I need to talk to you. We
Oh
need
my
help.
days.
We're being pushed to our limit by wars and
Was that a question?
And
Was that a question?
that's the third statement that I'm making, saying that that's what sin is.
What's the third statement?
I didn't remove it. It's up. The debate's up.
Sin is a creature preferring a finite good over God as its final end.
I don't agree.
That's not what sin is.
No, not necessarily.
What is sin?
If I sin that I'm worshiping someone other than God?
You're choosing something that's finite over God as being the object of all your actions.
No, I don't agree. So
Yeah,
so
so
I,
What? Come on, Libiano, man. Come on, bro. This is ridiculous.
I just want you to clarify when you say that you're choosing something finite over God as the as what did you say again?
If
As
you
a
choose God
termination-
100, if
as
you
a
choose God
termination of
100%
all
of
your
the
moral
time, would you
actions?
ever sin?
Yeah, no, you wouldn't.
Exactly. So sin is when you choose something other than God.
Yeah, but yeah, when you choose something other than God, doesn't mean that your all your acts are terminating, or all your moral acts are terminating on another thing preferable over God, right?
No, if you choose anything, all it says is that sin is a creature preferring a finite good over God, right?
Okay, sin is to disobey God's law.
No one said anything about termination. All he said is, it's just, he switches it. He's just so switchy. Like, he switches what the person is saying to something that he feels like he can deconstruct. No, all we're just saying is, hey, look, when someone sins, they prefer some sort of finite thing over the infinite thing, which is God. That's just true, by definition. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sin.
That's when you don't choose
All right.
God.
So let's just leave it there. Sin is to disobey what God obligates you to do.
When you disobey, you're choosing something other than God.
Well,
That's what disobedience is.
whatever disobeying entails, let's just leave it at disobeying God. Continue.
That's what sin is. So therefore, sin violates God's strict right. Right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. So the gravity
So
of violating
you could have just said, sin is when you disobey God. All right, continue
that's yeah, you're not following this argument at all. This is amazing.
now.
So
You haven't even given an argument. bro.
so the gravity of a wrong is proportional to the dignity of the person whose right is violated.
Sorry, say that one more time. The gravity of a wrong is what?
The gravity of a wrong is proportional to the dignity of the person whose right is violated.
I don't know what that means.
So when you wrong someone, right? Like say for instance, you're in Canada, right? I don't know what you guys have, like prime minister.
Elijah, is that you in the comments? Ain't no way you watching that? Bro. Because I'm targeting Libiano because I want to debate him, right? So I said, all right, cool. Let me see. Let me see like who they said cooked them. They said you. I said, all right, cool. Let me go on this video. And I'm just laughing when this guy said, yo, give me an argument for that definition. What the fuck? Yo, this guy's terrible. Nah, he must have upgraded from this time. This was this 3 months ago. He must have upgraded. Please tell me upgraded.
Like say for instance, you're in Canada, right? I don't know what you guys have, like prime ministers or something.
Yeah.
So like, if you go out and you're spreading dawah or whatever, and like you just got into a confrontation with whoever you guys got into a confrontation with,
Yeah.
right?
My bad.
You don't go to jail for that, right? Because the dignity of the person that you wronged isn't as high. But say,
see, you know why I love you, Elijah, bro? You're using my blessed St. Thomas Aquinas distinction. Oh my gosh.
if you got into a confrontation with a prime minister, right, you might go to jail for that because the dignity of that person is a lot higher. Does that make sense?
Okay, sure, I'm following. So
Okay.
what are you defining again here?
So that all I'm saying is that the gravity of a wrong, like the weight of a wrong, is going to be
So
proportionate.
if you harm a dog, it's not like harming a human being.
Sure.
All right.
The-
So you
so the-
could have just said that, bro. You could. All right.
He tried it. He's trying to. This guy is pathetic, man. He doesn't understand the argument at all.
The gravity of a wrong is going to be proportionate to the dignity of the person whose right is
Yeah.
violated.
Sure.
God's dignity is infinite.
There is food in Gaza,
Oh, he's about to
but
cook.
for most families, it's still out of reach. After so much destruction.
Okay.
Okay.
What does that
Therefore,
mean?
What?
that his dignity is infinite,
Mhm.
that he is of infinite worth and value.
What does it mean to be infinite?
Oh my god! This guy's alarmed!
This guy's alarmed. No way. Unless he believes Allah is finite. Wait. What? What does that mean? What does it mean to be infinite? Oh my gosh, man. Please tell me this guy cooked them on this shit.
It's infinite, that he is of infinite worth and value.
What does it mean to be infinite? What does it mean to be infinite? What does it mean to be infinite?
Oh, he even
To not have bounds, to not be finite.
Yeah, so you're just giving me the opposite of
Definition?
infinite. Yeah, so I'm asking you, what does it mean
Oh
for
my
God to have
gosh.
infinite dignity? What is that?
That means that he is of amazing worth, of
Right, so
boundless worth.
he's right. He is the most amazing being, and he has the most worth, right?
He's
See, now he's trying to attack a little straw man. Because he said amazing worth, boundless worth. Then he took out the boundless part and he's like, oh, amazing worth, greatest worth. Because he's trying to take like the maximal view. That's not what he said. He said boundless, without restrictions, without limits. That's what infinite is. That the thing is unlimited, literally. Like without any form of like restriction. The being is the being itself. No limitations to the being. There's no division, basically. And this guy is trying to straw man.
He is the most amazing being, and he has the most.
No, yeah. I could tell you because you was just dumbfounded. Elijah, you was probably just dumbfounded. You was just like, there's no way this guy would question me on that. Nah, I feel you.
Right?
he's not just most. He is. There's no limit to his worth.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what no limit to his worth means?
No.
GG's, man.
I don't know.
What is wrong with you?
Yo.
Do you want to go ahead and break it? That means.
You don't know what no limit to his worth means?
No. I don't know.
What is wrong with you?
Do you want to go ahead and break it down what it means to have an unlimited worth?
Yeah, so first of all you have to do is to be able to understand like when something's worth has limit. Like your computer, there's a limit to its worth. If I broke your computer, you can't come in and say you owe me $1 million, right? Because it's only worth so much. So
exactly.
Yeah,
in regards to God,
so we're talking about monetary limit here. Okay, cool. So
this
apply that to God now.
this is just
You
so
just-
you can
you just
to help
said if
you
your
understand
computer-
the concept.
He's giving an example, man.
Remember, you said if you break your computer, right? I can't come and tell you that, oh, it's worth $1 million. Okay. Well, yeah, my computer has a monetary limit. But what does it mean for God to have infinite limit or infinite dignity?
That means him as a person, the person of God.
God is a person?
Right? Duh.
Is he? Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Am I real? Am I real? Is everything real? Hold on.
The person of God.
God is a person?
Right?
What? Hold on. What the fuck? Am I in a Matrix? Is this the Orthodox Muslim? What?
Infinite limit or infinite dignity.
That means him as a person, the person of God.
God is a person?
Right?
Oh my god. This is insane, bro. This is bad. That's so bad.
Duh.
Oh, I thought he's 3 persons. Okay, that's interesting. So God is one person now. according to Allah.
What? What? Is he dumb? You do. Okay, hold on. He's so confused. He's so confused. There's a difference between affirming that you can assign the predicate the predicate person to God. That doesn't mean that you only think that God is only one person. God is a person is just to say that there's this predicate, right, person that's assigned to God. He satisfies this description. A person. Like what? This guy's ridiculous, man.
Person of God.
God is a person?
Right? Duh.
Oh, I thought he's 3 persons. Okay, that's interesting. So God is one person now. according
There's
to
no
Elijah.
way you're this dense.
He's like, there's no way you're this dense.
1 second. Is God one person or 3 persons?
So
Is God one person or 3 persons?
either way, God would still have to be a person.
You just said God
Exactly.
Either way,
God. Perfect answer. Perfect. That's
God
literally the
is
perfect answer.
A person means one person, right?
Okay, cool. So
is God one person or 3 persons?
Wait, this is so dumb because yes, God is a person. Doesn't you could say these two propositions are jointly satisfiable. God is a person. God is 3 persons. There's no contradiction. Yeah, God is a person and God is 3 persons. What are you talking about? What? That doesn't lead what? And then he found this opportunity to then switch from the main argument. Now he's gonna go to the whole counting thing now.
Right?
Okay, cool. So
is God one person or 3 persons?
When we're talking about
Just 1 second. You're
we're
giggling.
talking about the
you were just
infinite
giggling.
dignity.
Just hold on. You were just giggling. You said God
Yeah,
is
because
Yeah.
you're unable to follow in a
second.
conversation.
I'm following perfectly fine. You said
No, you're
God
not.
You said God is a person. Is that what you said?
Bro, if you're three persons, you're at one a person.
You're a
bro.
person.
You have to be a person.
So
if
God
it's
is
three
a.
persons,
So God is a person.
Exactly.
you're an idiot.
Is God a person?
This is the Orthodox Muslim, guys. This is the Orthodox Muslim. This is the Orthodox Muslim. This is the top guy. Yeah, you're an idiot. Get out of here. Yeah, you're just an idiot. Bro.
You're a person.
You have to be a person.
So
if
God
it's
is
three
a.
persons,
So God is a person.
you're an idiot.
Is God?
It's the way he started before he said, "Yeah, you're."
Person.
Yes, bro. God's
Yo,
a person, bro.
So
I'm
God is
fried,
a
man.
Persons. Yes.
So hold on.
Yeah,
when you say
you're
God,
you're
what
an
does that pick
idiot,
up?
bro.
The divine nature.
The divine nature is a person.
No, when you're
You
talking
just
about
said God is a person, brother. Is a divine nature a
Huh?
person?
What did he say?
the divine nature.
The divine nature is a person.
No, when you're
You
talking
just
about
said God is a person.
There's no blunder, dumbass. There's a difference between using the subject God in a proposition and using the subject divine nature in a proposition. He's so slow. Like, to say God is a person doesn't necessitate the divine nature as a person, because God could suppose it for a person, or could suppose it for the divine nature. So you could say God is a person to just say a person is a person, because God would be picking out some person, right? But divine nature as a person doesn't follow, because the term God there has two meanings. What is he talking about? This is slow. And he really thought he ate there. What?
The divine nature is a person.
no, when you're
You
talking
just
about
said God is a person, brother. Is a divine nature a person, Elijah?
the divine nature exists as three distinct persons, Father,
Exactly.
Son, and Spirit. So
When you said God is
can we
a
get back to the
No,
topic?
no, I
Exactly.
know, but you giggled as if you did something. So now I'm gonna hold you to it because you were giggling like a little
Bro,
girl.
you have no
You
idea
just
what's
said-
going on.
You just said
All I
God
need you to do is
All right,
track
so
a
Elijah, you
conversation
just said
and we'd
God-
be able to move
Elijah,
on.
don't run
That's
away.
it.
You're in a corner.
Run
now.
away?
I like how he's staying calm during this. Like, one person looks like they're actually trying to finish the conversation, and the other person looks like they're running away. Like, I mean, just talking about people in general, not the Muslim community or whatever. They would think like Libiano's probably cooking, but to stay calm during this moment, just like to just notice that like the guy's trying to run away is good.
I'm genuinely asking you to go on with the conversation.
Hey Elijah, you said God
Literally
is a person.
asking you to continue the
just said
conversation.
God is a person. What did you mean by that?
When you say that God is a person, that means
Yes.
you could either pick out one of the persons that are God.
Okay,
Duh.
so when you said
Like when we talk
God-
about Jesus, the
Okay,
divine
cool.
person, a person that is
Okay,
God that
okay,
died.
Okay,
Duh.
beautiful. Okay, beautiful. So then when you said God is a person, you were just talking about a specific person of the Godhead, right?
But I'm sitting here talking to
It's
a
just
Unitarian.
one sec. So Elijah,
Lol.
when you
I'm,
said
well, I'm
God is a
talking to
person-
you, a
when you said-
Unitarian.
Elijah, don't backtrack now, please. Can you please stay?
No one's
You
backtracking.
said-
I'm talking to you. I'm trying to help
everybody-
you understand something.
Everybody can see that you're panicking now.
That's
What is he talking about, bro? What?
Yours.
I'm trying to help
So-
you
So
understand
when
something.
you said God is a person,
Yeah.
you didn't mean God is a nature. So you take that back, and you
Bro,
meant
I'm literally
that you're
talking to you.
Okay, so remember when I asked you what does God pick out, you said divine essence. Do you still
That's
stand by that?
in normal. That's what God is going to pick out.
Okay,
But it's just going to
okay,
depend
cool.
on the context.
Okay,
You're
cool.
asking
So
me a
then-
vague question.
So then Elijah, in this statement, God is a person, and God
Bro, I'm
there
talking to you,
picks
bro.
out the. You see how you keep panicking, and God there picks out the divine nature. So then you could say God is a person, with God there picking out the divine nature, right?
Okay, like none
Right?
of this matters, bro.
No, yes or no?
I don't know what you mean by your question.
He doesn't know what I mean anymore, ladies and gentlemen. So
When
you
you're saying
said
that the
God
divine,
is. You said
the divine
God is
nature, the
Remember,
divine
let-
nature. So
let me-
in
let me-
regards to,
let me-
hold on,
let
in
me remind
regards
you,
to
you're-
Christianity, in regards to
everybody
Christianity,
can see it, man.
cool. In regards to Christianity,
What is he laughing at, man? This guy's pathetic.
divine
see the
nature
blunder, man.
exists as three distinct persons.
We know
That's
that.
fine.
We
Okay.
know that.
So-
You said God is a person. And when I asked you again, just to make sure I heard that right, you doubled down. You said, yes, God is a person. And you even laughed. You goofed. You said, oh, look at you, Orthodox Muslim. You're lost. Okay, cool. Then I asked you, what does God pick out in that sentence, on that statement? You said the divine nature. Okay. So then the divine nature is a person, right, Elijah?
The divine nature is identical to all three persons, bro.
Is the
So
divine nature a
obviously,
person?
bro,
Is the divine nature a person?
the divine nature is identical to all three persons.
Is
But
the
the things that's proper,
is the
the
divine,
divine
nature,
nature itself is not a person.
So then
no,
you
bro.
can't say God is a person, then, right, Elijah?
That doesn't follow. That does not follow. That doesn't follow at all.
That's incorrect.
Okay, so then you take that back. You were wrong, Elijah, right?
No, you just don't know what's going on.
Elijah, either God is a person or not, Elijah. Is God a person?
I'm thinking of an example like you could say a house has walls and a shelter doesn't have walls, even though a house is a shelter. Because obviously, I'm just thinking of it like you don't necessarily like just like if the terms mean different things, then you can't derive that inference, is what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying? This is so stupid when we say God is a person. It's just reflexivity. Yeah.
Obviously, bro, God
Yes?
is a
Okay,
person
so the
because
divine
God is
nature-
three persons.
So the divine
God,
nature is a person?
brother, the things that you say about the divine nature and the things that you,
is a divine
the
nature
divine
a
nature,
person,
brother,
Elijah?
the
Is a
divine,
divine nature a person, Elijah?
the
Is a
divine
divine
nature,
nature a person, Elijah?
the divine nature is not a person.
So then you
bruh.
can't say God is
The
a person.
divine
then,
nature
Elijah,
is
right?
identical to the persons, though. So you
Nice.
can obviously
then-
properly say
then-
that God.
then-
Hold on, just don't cut me
Go ahead.
off. So you
Go
might
ahead.
learn something. So you can obviously say that
I
God is a
I
person.
think you're the one
God
learning
is
it, man.
God is three persons. That's fine.
Okay, beautiful. So then, can you say God is a person, Elijah?
Yes, bro. You can say that God
Okay.
is a person.
And what does God pick out there?
The divine person, bro. We
The
can move
divine,
on.
the divine person?
Yes. Yes, because it's tautological in that sense. God is a person is just to say a person is a person. Some person of God is a person. Like what? That's the whole point.
Okay.
A divine person, bro.
Okay,
Come
cool.
on.
So then, okay, cool. So
Can we
then,
move
when
on
you
with the
said-
topic?
No, you're not gonna run away because you giggled. Remember, you laughed.
Libiano, you're the one running away because your ego's hurt because he laughed at you. What?
Yeah,
When I
because
said-
this is
when I
funny.
when I tried to correct you, you laughed. So now I'm gonna make you.
You didn't
I'm gonna-
correct
I'm gonna-
me.
Say,
I'm
yeah,
gonna-
'cause
I'm
this
gonna
is
force
funny.
you to admit that you were wrong because you laughed. Okay.
Bro,
So now let's
what
take
are
it
you
back.
talking about?
Everybody can see what I'm talking about, Elijah. It's only
I
you
can't see
because
what you're
you're
talking about.
Even your friend Nick is about to get baked in a second after you.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes the nonchalance is frying me, bro.
Can see it. He's watching in the comments. So
That's
listen, Elijah,
fantastic.
you said God is a person. Do you stand by that, Elijah?
Yes, bro. What do you,
Okay.
what is, how
And
many
did
times you gonna
and
ask me
did
the same
and did
question?
Because you keep just cutting me off and you keep bitching. Well, instead of staying on comments. So stop bitching and stick to the line of questioning. So yes, you said
Hey, I
God
got
is a
you,
person.
Just made himself look so bad.
That's tough.
Yes. Do you have a problem with that, Elijah?
I was just
That's what I
surprised,
thought.
bro.
That's what I thought. So anyway,
Just
so
shocked.
you said God is a person.
Why you so
You
upset?
double.
Why are you so upset? Oh, I love that. I love that. That's what I do. That's what I do. Why are you so mad? Why in your feelings? Like what?
Yo.
Then I asked you, what does God pick out? You said the.
Why are you so upset?
You doubled down on that. Then I asked you, what does God pick out? You said the divine.
Are you
nature.
sweating?
So
Yo! Hold on. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
on that. Then I asked you, what does God pick out? You said the divine.
Are you
nature.
sweating?
So did you make a mistake there?
Why are you sweating?
What? Yo, what? Yo, he's dead ass sweating. He's dead ass sweating, bro. Yo, oh my god. Wow. Yo, what is that?
You said the divine.
Are you
nature.
sweating?
So did you make a mistake there?
Why are you sweating?
I'm so hard, man. Did you make a
Yeah,
mistake
why
there,
are you
Elijah?
sweating, bro? It's
Elijah,
a
don't
simple conversation.
Elijah, don't run away.
Yo, he's dead ass sweating too. He's like, his face is kind of oily. That is hilarious, man. Wait, let me see if it's still. Oh, okay, yeah, you guys can still see it. Sorry.
Hard, man. Did you make a
Yeah,
mistake
why
there,
are you
Elijah?
sweating, bro? It's
Elijah,
a
don't
simple
run-
conversation.
Elijah, don't run away from the
Right
question,
before I
Elijah.
came up here, you said it shouldn't
Elijah,
be this hard for
Elijah.
people to defend Christianity.
And
I
it-
brung
it-
up
it's-
one.
and it's
I
super-
brung
it's
up
super
one
hard.
argument.
Okay,
You got
Elijah,
scared.
Elijah,
Brung
are
up
you-
the second
Elijah, I'm not-
argument.
Elijah,
I'm giving
not
you a
gonna-
second
I'm not gonna
chance
mute you.
at this.
Elijah, can you
Cool,
answer
you don't
the
have to
question?
mute me.
Is God, you said
You don't
God
have
is,
to mute me.
you said God is a person. Okay, cool. Then I asked you, what does God pick out? You said the divine nature. Were you wrong, or do you still stick on that?
Obviously, God's going to either pick out the divine nature, divine person. It just depends on the context that you're speaking about.
In that statement, I was asking you about that statement. When you said God is
Well,
a
if
person.
you're asking me what, if you're just asking me a vague question like what does God?
Can you stop coming up?
Yo, he's actually he's. I think he's sweating worse, bro. I think he's sweating worse. Hold on, chat. Wait. Oh, okay. So it does decrease. Okay, cool. I'll put it like this. So it looks like he's actually getting even more heated, bro. That's actually insane.
God is
Well,
a
if you're
person.
asking me what, if you're just asking me a vague question like what does God?
Can you stop coming up?
My fault.
I'm speaking.
You said God is a person. I said, what does God pick out in that sentence? You said, oh, divine nature. You said, God is a person.
W skips, by the way.
You weren't wrong?
No, because the
Okay.
persons are identical to the essence.
Beautiful. So the divine nature is a person.
No, because the
So then you
persons
were
are
wrong.
because
So
the
then-
persons
so
are
then you were wrong.
virtually distinct from the essence. So the things that you say about the persons are going to be different from the things that you say about the essence, but that doesn't mean that
Exactly.
they are not identical.
That doesn't really.
W virtual distinction. We don't want that formal distinction. We want that virtual distinction. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We're so back. We're so back.
It'd be different from the things that you say about the essence, but that
that's
doesn't
fine.
mean that they are not identical.
That doesn't really. That
If you
doesn't
knew
answer-
what you,
that doesn't-
it actually
that
does
doesn't-
answer your
that
question.
does-
If you
it
knew
actually
what you were
does. So
talking,
here-
if you
so
knew
here-
what you
so
were
here-
talking about,
so
you
here's
would
the-
move
so
on.
here- So here's the question. Again, because them being virtual, the essence being virtually identical doesn't answer anything.
Virtually
say-
identical. This
did you
dude's
say the
lost.
divine
Oh
nature?
my days, he's lost.
Did you say the divine nature is a person?
What's virtually identical?
Did you say the divine nature is a person?
What is virtually identical?
Did you say the divine nature is a person? Stop running.
What is virtually
Did
identical?
you say the divine nature is a person?
No,
Stop
those
running.
words never came out of my mouth. What is virtually
Okay.
identical?
Did you say the divine nature is a person?
I just answered that. No, those words never came out of my mouth. What is
Okay,
virtually
so-
identical?
So then God cannot pick out the divine nature there.
No, you're wrong. You want to
So
give
it
the
can't-
argument
so it
for
can't-
that?
So it can pick out the
Do you
divine
want to
nature there?
give the argument for that?
I didn't make a statement. I'm following you.
This is just a terrible inference. just doesn't follow at all.
Make a statement. So
No,
God cannot be a person.
I'm following
So,
you to your
so
entailment.
God
You said
cannot be a person
that's
isn't
a
a
question.
statement.
That
Now,
was a question. That
that's
was
a what's the
that was
question there?
That was a question, you dumbass.
What was the
You
question?
said, I'll tell you the question. You said that it can mean divine nature. Then you said it can't mean divine nature. Which
I said it
means
can't mean divine
which
nature.
means-
When did I
which
say that?
means- Sir, you said it can't. Then you said it could.
When?
So now,
When?
just right now. Stop
No,
cutting me off. So let me tell you.
I
So
said it
clearly you
can't mean divine
Brother,
nature.
Can you stop cutting me off?
He never said that. When did he ever say that? He literally never said that. What? No, he actually never said that.
You see how you were calm and quiet, and when you blundered, you started losing your mind?
He never. And he's sweating even worse. Yo. Damn, bro.
Your mind. It's okay. You blundered. We could fix it and go back to your injury nonsense. Okay? So, when you say God is a person, just for clarity, please, can God in this statement pick out the divine nature?
When we're talking about God
Lord
as a
have
person,
mercy.
when we're talking about God as a person, that's just going to pick out the divine persons.
Okay, so that's not what I asked. Can it there pick out the divine nature?
In that statement, is God a person? Hold on a sec. Yeah.
We last raised investment in the middle of a trade war to do three things.
He's definitely making dough from this, bro. I need to monetize my thing.
Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, so in that statement, it's just going to pick out the divine persons, bro.
Okay, I said, can it pick out the divine nature?
Can it pick out the divine? It just depends as to what you mean.
Okay, in any sense, can it pick out the divine nature?
I mean, yeah, there's some respects where it could pick out the divine nature, bro.
Okay, so in some respects, the divine nature is a person.
It's a multi-person.
That doesn't follow. That does not follow. How is he just not seeing that it doesn't follow, man?
Bro.
That's not what I asked. In some respect, the divine nature is a person, right?
In regards to the divine nature, it's gonna pick out the multi-personal entity.
Didn't ask that. I said you said
that's what it would be speaking about, bro.
But I didn't ask that.
Exactly.
Though. You said in some respect, God is a person. God in that statement can be replaced with divine nature. Okay, cool. So then in some respect, we could say divine nature is a person, right?
Obviously, if the persons are
Why
identical
did you
to the
stop?
divine nature.
Stop stuttering, man. It's a very
Obviously,
simple
if the
question.
divine nature is identical to the persons.
So then,
like,
so the divine nature is a person in some sense, right?
it just depends as to what you mean, bro.
Okay, so in some sense, the divine nature is a person, right?
Oh my God, you're just asking me the same question.
Okay, I
over
didn't get an
and
answer.
over
We
and
didn't hear an
over again.
answer.
I answered this question eight times,
Elijah,
bro.
in some sense, the divine
How many
nature
times
is
are you gonna ask me to say?
Elijah.
Why don't you go back? Why don't you go back, watch
Elijah,
the clip, bro?
Elijah,
Why
in
don't
some
you go
sense,
back?
here's
watch
Elijah.
the
Stop.
clip?
Why are you panicking, dude?
No one's
Just
panicking.
answer
You're
the
asking
question.
me the same
Elijah,
question
in
over
some
and
sense,
over and
Elijah,
over
in
again.
some sense, is the divine nature a person?
Maybe rewind 30 seconds and figure
Can you
out
just
what I
can you
said.
just give me a yes or no? In some sense, is
Why
the
don't you
divine nature a
rewind
person?
30 seconds and figure out what I
Wow,
said?
it's crazy. He doesn't know how to answer anymore.
I'm giving you an answer. I said, why don't you rewind now
here's the
45
question, 'cause
seconds?
I don't hear a yes or a no. In some sense,
Well, because I
is
answered
the
you like
divine-
6 times.
in some
I'm not gonna just repeating the same question, fam.
okay, we want to hear it one more time. In some
No,
sense,
I'm not gonna sit here and just
in-
answer the same
in-
question 80 million times. bro.
okay, so let me repeat your answer. So Elijah Johnson, you agree that in some sense the divine nature is a person, correct?
Okay, this is what we're talking about, bro. That's it.
Is that a yes?
That just
Nah, I've never debated Mason.
depends as to what you're talking
Is
about.
that a
bro. It's
yes?
not difficult, bro.
Yeah, I said in some sense.
Okay, go back, watch the clip so you can see. Can
in
we
any,
move on?
oh Lord have mercy. In any sense, Elijah, is a divine nature a person?
Right, it depends as to what you're talking about. The persons
there-
are so
so there
because
is
the
a
person
sense- so
here
there
because
is a
the
sense-
persons are identical to the divine
Elijah,
essence. If that's what you
I'm gonna give you one more chance. I muted you. One more chance, bro. In some sense, is the divine nature a person? Yes or no?
Because the persons are identical.
I didn't
to
hear
the
a yes
essence,
or a no.
if you can listen for the answer, because the
Mute again. In some sense,
Bruh.
is the divine nature a person? Yes or no?
Can I answer?
Yes. With a yes or no, then you could continue.
Yeah. So insofar.
No, is
and
that a yes
no,
or
I
no?
said.
Bruh.
I already said it. Insofar.
Is
as
that a
the
yes?
Nature, yes. Insofar as
that
the
a yes?
nature. How many times are you gonna ask me the same question?
You're saying it quietly, like you're shy of it. Just say yes. The divine
Yes,
nature.
yes. Insofar
person.
as the nature is
Beautiful.
identical to the persons. Yes, bro.
Beautiful.
Dang.
So the divine nature is a person, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Can-
Insofar as it's identical to the persons, the divine nature is a person. All right.
Bro, yes, the divine nature is a person. Right? If by person you just mean a tripersonal being. Like, you could. This guy doesn't understand that, like, you could. Look, the words have different meanings. And the words can have different meanings according to the intention of the term. What the term is trying to signify. When you say a person of the triune God, all you're just saying is the tri-personal God. Right? So, you could use person in that sense. You could use person to signify one person of the triune God. You could use person to signify the tri-personal God. You could use God to signify the person of God or the tri-personal God itself. But divine nature only signifies the entity of God. So, but if the divine nature signifies the entity of God and the entity of God is tripersonal, then yeah, like the divine nature would signify a tripersonal being. The only issue I have with like Libiano's critique is that it diverges way too far from the topic. The main topic is about the injury from moral law, and it shifted to how you count between the persons 5 minutes in, and I knew like that was gonna happen.
All right, Elijah, you can continue with your argument now.
Okay. Jesus Christ, man. So, proportionate satisfaction has to be equivalent to the weight of the injury it repays, or the weight of the wrong that it repays.
Bro, just finish. Go ahead with your argument, then I'll tell you what I agree with, disagree with.
God's dignity. Oh, you disagree with God's dignity being infinite. That's what you disagree with.
Just finish, bro. Then we'll pick up.
Oh, okay. So God's dignity is infinite. Therefore, the injury of sin against God is of infinite weight, or the wrong against God is of infinite weight. That's the conclusion for that part.
All right. So how does that prove Christianity?
Are you slow?
Move on to the next part. I need to. That's the end of.
Just make the argument, brother, and I'll respond.
Well, that's the end of that syllogism.
All right. Just go ahead. Go ahead.
We need you to agree or disagree with the syllogism. That's the whole point of the syllogism. This guy's talking about some go ahead. It's not what?
The case for Christianity.
Can you tell me if you agree or disagree with these premises?
I'll tell you after you make your whole argument.
Yeah, because you wanna think. He wants to find one hole in the conjunction of arguments and just grab that and just talk about that for 20 minutes.
So it's broken up into multiple arguments. This is the second.
Then I'll tell you.
This is the second syllogism, bro. Just tell me if you agree or disagree.
Keep going. At the end, I'll tell you what I disagree with and I agree with.
All right, bro. Because I don't have that much time, bro. So, proportionate.
You're not gonna run away, by the way, and make an excuse.
Fantastic, bro. If you didn't waste 10 minutes of my time, we wouldn't been here. So, proportionate satisfaction.
Going for a reason.
Proportionate satisfaction must be equivalent in weight to the wrong that it repays. The wrong of sin has infinite weight from conclusion 2. Therefore, proportionate satisfaction of sin requires an act of infinite efficacy. Every purely created act is finite in itself. A finite act cannot be equivalent to the injury of an infinite weight. Therefore, no creature can offer proportionate satisfaction for sin. An act of infinite efficacy can only flow from an...
So, wait. Because I think I've heard this argument from the Summa, but I'm trying to remember it. Sorry.
wrong that it repays. The wrong of sin has infinite weight. From
Exactly. Yes.
conclusion 2. Therefore, proportionate satisfaction of sin requires an act of infinite efficacy.
Exactly. An act of infinite efficiency.
Every purely created act is finite in itself. A finite act cannot
Yeah.
be equivalent to the injury of an infinite weight. Therefore, no creature can offer proportionate satisfaction for sin. An act of infinite efficacy can only flow from an infinite person. The only God is infinite, obviously. Therefore, only God can perform an act of infinite efficacy capable of proportionate satisfaction.
W. He's cooking. Yes. We're so back.
Faction. Yeah, so we could just, we could just stop.
So,
there.
so in
This is true Christendom. This is true crusade Christianity, true conquering. This is true domination right now. This is actually domination right now. This is WWE SmackDown.
We could just stop.
So in simpler terms, just for the
So
audience,
in simpler terms,
God needs an infinite sacrifice to atone.
so in simple terms, straw man. So in simple terms, yeah, you about a straw man. He's straw man. He said nothing about God requiring an infinite sacrifice. He's just talking. What? He said the efficient cause for the proper satisfaction is going to be infinite. He never said what? Never said God needs an infinite sacrifice.
Can I finish?
When did he ever say that?
You need you need an infinite sacrifice to atone for a sin against an infinite being with infinite dignity, right?
You say you need? Yeah, so
God, because he's of so infinite dignity, a mere finite creature cannot give him a satisfactory sacrifice. Therefore, you need somebody who is infinite to give somebody who's infinite an infinite sacrifice to atone for
no, I
sin.
never said
He never said anything like that. You're trying to. This guy's ridiculous, man.
Racist.
Okay, so you need somebody infinite to atone for somebody infinite.
But not for somebody infinite. No. So when you wrong someone, the weight of your wrong is dependent upon the dignity of the person. God is infinite, so the weight of your wrong is infinite. So for you to pay for your debt, right, you need to offer something infinite, pretty much. But you are finite. So because God, wait. Because God is just, as you agreed, God requires the satisfaction of all debts, pretty much all wrongs.
Okay, I got you. Beautiful. So let me just grant that for a second. Okay. Can you show me? Can you show me that set up in the Old System or in the Old Testament?
Show you what?
That line of reasoning. Can you show that present in the Old Testament?
What?
Yeah, bro. The fact that the blood of bulls and goats and finite things doesn't.
So he shifted it to, bro. What? This first off, his argument is a metaphysical argument. So his argument would be true, regardless. It wouldn't even matter if Christianity is true. Like, his argument would still be true. So that's irrelevant. That's one.
Atone for sin.
It doesn't atone for sin? Where does the Old Testament say that?
Yeah, God doesn't delight in those things.
God doesn't delight?
No.
Sorry, hold on, Elijah. You said that God does not accept sin offerings from animals?
What? No. Where?
What?
Where are you getting-
When did he say that?
from?
You just said in order to have your sin done against an infinite being forgiven, you need an infinite offering or an infinite act of forgiveness, right?
This is, brother. First of all, I'm giving you an argument based on
Lord
reason.
have mercy. Right.
And
I just
no,
said,
that's not what I said.
Elijah, you're all over the place. Elijah, just remember, I granted you it, okay? Let's say your reasoning follows.
Okay.
Your
cool.
conclusion follows from the set of premises. Let's grant that for a second. Even if your conclusion follows from the set of premises, it does not mean that's what is taught in the Old Testament. Do you understand? So can you show that your valid and sound argument is what the...
Why? I don't like. I mean, if it's valid and sound, then boom, he won. If it's not, then give a reason why it's not. Like, why is he going on the Old Testament? This is ridiculous, man.
Testament considers?
Brother, brother, that wouldn't even be a requirement. If you're already granting me this argument,
Exactly. Oh, he caught it. He caught it. He caught it. He caught it. He caught it.
brother, that wouldn't even be a requirement. If you're already granting me this argument,
Exactly.
No. So again, Elijah, pay attention.
Ah, his Wi-Fi bugged out at the wrong time, man. Ay. Ah, fudge, man.
Granting me this argument,
No. So
L phone, man. L phone.
Just because you could, you're cutting out, brother. So pay attention. Just because I'm granting that your argument is valid and sound, it doesn't mean. Are you?
Oh, it regenerated. Oh, so he brought it back.
Pay attention. Just because I'm granting that your argument is valid and sound.
Oh my god! Oh my, yeah. Bye. This is just ridiculous, man. Yo. He just granted that the argument is valid and the argument is sound. He just granted him the whole argument. He granted him the debate. So he just granted him the whole part. That's it. That means that means he granted the argument where the argument from proportion and Allah needing to be an infinite being for that to occur, right? And the satisfaction as well, having the proper satisfaction being founded on some infinite dignity, which would just be an infinite person. So he granted the whole dialectic, bro. What is there to talk about? What?
Just because I'm granting that your argument is valid and sound, it doesn't mean.
Yo.
Are you okay, brother?
If you're granting that it's sound, you're saying that it's true, which means that Christianity is true, and you're.
Why does everyone always like concede to Elijah? What type of aura is this? I saw a clip of Sheikh Uthman just. Why did they always grant? Why are they always granting him shit, bro? This is not Christmas, bro. I grant you your every single time. I grant you your argument. Sheikh Uthman, I grant you. So when he posts, I just cooked. It's actually like a genuine cook because they granted it to the guy. I don't get that. I have to like work around this. Only a few times I get that, but this guy is always getting I grant you from the top dawa apologists, bro. That shit is hilarious to me. Oh, what is
valid and sound argument is what the Old Testament considers.
Brother, brother, that wouldn't even be a requirement. If you're already granting me this argument,
no. So again, Elijah, pay attention. Just because you could, you're cutting out, brother. So pay attention. Just because I'm granting that your argument is valid and sound, it doesn't mean. Are you okay, brother?
If you're granting that it's sound, you're saying that it's true, which means that Christianity is true and you're cooked.
Exactly.
No, it
Appreciate
doesn't
you,
mean
gang.
that. That's why.
Appreciate
bro. God
you.
bless you.
Are you gonna listen or you gonna run away?
Hey man, you spreading the gospel every day. You go ahead and do that.
Because wait, oh nah, okay, oh wait. Do you realize how bad this is? Okay, so in my head I was thinking, oh, that he just granted the validity of the paradigm. No, he actually falsified Islam, because in Islam, a finite thing is what's being, a finite thing, which is their deeds, their works, right, is what's being used as satisfaction before Allah, right? In the Christian paradigm, it's an infinite person with infinite dignity, right? So if he grants Elijah's argument, he's falsified Islam, because in Islam there is no infinite dignity that could satisfy the depth of sin, right? Which I think even Muslims would concede to, right? Like obviously your deeds, your works, they're not infinite. So that's just done. That's done. He just debunked Islam. What?
Are you gonna listen or you gonna run away?
Hey man, you spreading the gospel every day. You go
Spreading
ahead.
the gospel.
You just proved Christianity true. Amen, bro.
Are you gonna run away,
I
Elijah?
appreciate you. You was a good interlocutor, bro.
Are you gonna run away, Elijah?
Run away? You just said, hey, everything that you said is true. But cool, what that mean about Christianity? Like, what are you talking about? If you knew the words that you was actually saying, you wouldn't have said such things.
I said I was granted.
Chat. I wanna watch the Korah one after this as well, because I wanna snipe Korah soon. So I wanna watch the Korah one too.
It for argument's sake, Elijah, and you cut me off in the middle of explaining. So are you gonna run away or are you gonna engage?
You said that argument is valid and
Are
sound.
you
Do you know what that means?
Are you gonna let me finish? Are you
You
gonna
know what
engage?
valid and sound means?
Hey, brother, if you don't want to engage, you could leave. It's okay. You want to engage?
Yeah. Do you know what valid and sound means?
Yes. Do you
What does it mean?
I'll tell you what it means. Just tell me. Are you gonna engage?
Yeah. What does it mean?
Okay. It means that I'm granting you that it logically follows and that it's sound. It corresponds to reality. I'm gonna grant
it's
that.
true.
Yo, is he? I feel like Libiano's Christian. Nah. Is he slow? Yo, how is this not viral? How is this not viral? How is this not viral? I'm gonna react to this on my TikTok page, and this shit, this has to be viral. This must. Why is this not viral? That means the Christian paradigm of satisfaction is true and corresponds to reality. Islam, therefore, does not correspond to reality. Because Islam is the negation of that position. Nah, I'm gonna have to react to this. This has to go viral. How is this not viral? Like, what? What are we doing?
Just tell me. Are you gonna engage?
Yeah. What does it mean?
Okay. It means that I'm granting you that it logically follows and that it's sound. It corresponds to reality. I'm gonna grant
it's
that.
true.
Okay. That's exactly what corresponding to reality means.
Exactly. So you're saying that the argument is true.
Can I finish?
So if the argument is true, then Christianity is true.
Exactly.
You just said that Christianity is true.
Are you gonna let me finish without you cutting me off?
Appreciate you, bro. Go ahead. Say what you need to say.
Are you gonna run away, Elijah?
Say what you need to say. Go ahead.
You gonna run away?
Say what you need to say. Go ahead.
All right. So mute up. Thank you. So even if I were to grant you that an argument is valid and follows, let's grant that for argument's sake, it doesn't mean that the Old Testament has that reasoning in mind.
Nobody cares, Libiano. Bro, if it's true and it corresponds to reality, Islam is false. Islam is false. Islam is false. You falsified Islam. Like, what is he not getting? Chat, am I bugging? How to join? Elijah put him in his genjutsu. Like, this is just insane, bro. He really just seeded the whole thing. And now he wants to say, do you know what he should have done? He should have said the argument is valid. Okay? And then twist his way out of it. This guy said it's valid and sound, guys. What are we doing, bro? Are they genuine? Are they
The
serious?
Old Testament has that reasoning in mind. Because it could be the case that the Old Testament doesn't correspond to reality. Is that right, Elijah?
Lovely.
You telling me you're not making dough from this, bro?
You have me muted, but go ahead.
Elijah, could it be the case that the Old Testament doesn't correspond to reality?
Not if the premises are true, bro. Christianity is true.
No, the premises don't include that the Old Testament is valid or not. The Old
Because
Testament
it's an argument from reason.
The Old Testament doesn't include, or the argument doesn't include whether the Old Testament is valid or not. So now let me ask you, Elijah, could it be the case, is it possible that the Old Testament doesn't correspond to reality?
Sure, so you just want me to show you this in the Old Testament,
Okay,
bro?
beautiful. So do you agree that if the Old Testament doesn't correspond to reality, then it wouldn't prove Christianity?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you said it does correspond to reality, Liviano. You already said it does. You already said it corresponds to reality, so it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. It's genuinely irrelevant, guys. Sorry for shouting at my mic, but like, what are we talking about? Like, what? You already said it corresponds to reality. So what the Old Testament is saying about it doesn't matter, bro. If it corresponds to reality, it corresponds to reality. I feel like he should have just like left it here, by the way.
True. It doesn't correspond to reality, then it wouldn't prove
Or you could have done something like, well, you just said it corresponds to reality, which makes Christianity true. And if Christianity is true, the Old Testament is true. Or like whatever the Old Testament is saying about is true. It's just shut down from there though. That's the whole point. His OT argument is so flawed. People had to keep offering animal sacrifices.
True.
No, but I could just show you in the Old Testament.
So Christianity can be true,
Bro,
and the Old
please.
Testament doesn't. Let me finish.
Oh my God!
Let
I
me
could
finish.
just show you in the Old. My phone's about to die.
You're literally
Please, bro.
You're getting caught, and you keep cutting me off, bro. Stop cutting me off.
No, if it's showing you,
Stop cutting me off, bro. What's wrong with you? Just relax. So Elijah, I just asked you, is it possible the Old Testament doesn't correspond with reality? You said yes. Then I asked you, if that's the case, then it doesn't mean Christianity is true. Then you said no. So then are you saying that it could be that Christianity is true while the Old Testament doesn't correspond to reality, Elijah?
No, because if Christianity is true, then the Old Testament is true. Obviously.
Okay, good. Thank you. So in the case that the Old Testament doesn't correspond to reality, your argument doesn't prove Christianity true, right?
No, if the argument proves Christianity is true, then the Old Testament is true.
Pay attention, brother. You're all over the place. If the Old Testament...
Libiano's trying way too hard. It's so bad. He thinks we're like dumb. Like what?
Doesn't correspond to reality, then your argument doesn't prove Christianity true, right?
No, bro, because the argument...
So it does prove Christianity true even if the Old Testament doesn't correspond to reality?
If Christianity is true, then the Old Testament is true.
That's question begging. Oh my God.
No, it's not, because I just gave you an argument that you said is true.
Exactly.
Your argument has a pre-assumption that the Old Testament corresponds with reality, right?
No, it doesn't. I never mentioned the Old Testament in the argument.
So the Old Testament doesn't have to correspond with reality for Christianity?
He's sweating, bro. Say anything about the Old Testament?
That's why I'm clarifying. Does your argument require the Old Testament to correspond with reality?
The argument doesn't talk about the Old Testament.
I'm asking you, does your argument require that the Old Testament correspond with reality?
No, the argument proves that the Old Testament corresponds with reality.
The argument doesn't even talk about an Old Testament.
But if it proves...
The argument
Thank you.
is
Because if the
purely
argument proves
Exact-
that
oh,
Christianity
exactly.
is true, then if Christianity is true, then the Old Testament is true.
You are
He just showed the argument doesn't even talk about the Old Testament. So if the argument is true, the Old Testament is irrelevant.
so brain dead and lost. You don't
You
even
have no
know-
idea what's going on.
Elijah, pay attention. Does your argument require that the New and the Old Testament are univocal and correspond with reality?
Okay, I don't know.
Univocal?
I'll tell
Wait,
you.
what? Univocal, guys? Huh?
Just
Sir,
listen. Just listen.
I know. I need an answer, bro.
No. So what the argument does? No. What the argument does?
You're not running away. Does your argument require that the New and Old Testament both are univocal and correspond with reality?
No. The argument proves.
No, they don't.
Hold on. Wait. The argument proves that the Old Testament and New Testament correspond with reality.
Argument.
That's what the argument proves. If
Yeah, do you know what? Your homies was probably right, because you want to get the longest type of video possible, so that you could just like continue to show like how, because like there was so many concessions prior to this, you had continued and then you got more and more concessions. So yeah, like with people like this, you do have to kind of stay there until they kick you.
Christianity is true, bro.
Sir, you're literally like big blunder right now. The argument is purely from reason. It is not connected to any revelation, because anybody else with a different set of revelation than you can make the same argument and believe that the
It doesn't matter because you said the argument was true.
amazing, the infinitely worth God requires an infinite sacrifice, and he doesn't have to be a Christian. I could just make up a religion and believe in an infinite God who requires an infinite sacrifice, and it wouldn't be Christianity, and the argument would work for me, right?
But if you
Right?
make up, yes, it would. Because
Yes,
if you make up,
it doesn't prove Christianity to be true, right?
no,
Is he slow? Oh my. You said it was. You said the argument was sound. Okay. And his argument already presumes Christianity is true, if the argument is true. So, you just cooked yourself. I want to look at the Quora one. Wait, what happened? What the
yes, bro. You're just saying if.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Alright, everybody, welcome. I was going to say welcome back, but this is our...
Where's the core? Where's the core one?
Whoa. What's that?
Sorry.
And I don't know, like power and
I haven't watched this before. I don't know why my time is here. I haven't watched it. I suppose it starts from here.
To his omniscience, right?
no.
Okay, so
And
these
by the way,
things.
God is not omnipotent, just to clarify. A better example that I would give would be like omniscience and I don't know, like power in this instance, being all-knowing and being the most powerful.
So God's spatial. He's temporal. He's mutable, and he's not omnipotent.
Okay, so no, God is not.
Yo, hold on. What the flip? Wait, that's their position? Are you serious? Wait.
So God's spatial. He's temporal. He's mutable, and he's not omnipotent.
Okay, so no, God is not omnipotent. He's omniscient.
Panicking.
I believe that God is spatiotemporal, and I also believe that God is immutable if what you mean by immutability in this case is essential change or being changed by another.
You got me.
And again,
You
you've
got
yet
me.
to prove. And
You got me.
Oh, okay. I was like, where they? Okay. So that's what she said. Okay, so now we're getting into like the thingy.
Corey, you can come up. you believe the same thing? You believe that God is?
That wasn't even, bro. That wasn't even nice. Like that was like, bro, he messed you up, man. Wait, repeat your question.
Hold on, wait. He messed me up by saying that his God is spatial, temporal. That's how he messed me up by saying that his God.
Who are they talking about?
And mutable.
What is immutability in this case? What's the definition of immutability?
What is it? The inability to change. It's not mutable.
Depends what type of change we're speaking about in this instance. If we're speaking about essential change, yes. If we're speaking about non-essential change, no.
If we're speaking about essential change, yes, what?
Yeah, my God cannot change, essentially.
Then he can't exist.
Okay, so he can't change essentially. Okay.
Time.
How does that fall? Essentially.
Then he can't exist in time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How does that follow?
Time is the measurement of change.
$2.
Hold on.
Newton's first law of motion doesn't require action.
Okay, time is the measurement of change, right?
Change, motion. I mean, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, time is the measurement.
Yeah, she don't know what she's talking
so
about.
Whatever
time is literally the measurement of change, and whenever change occurs, it occurs according to the nature of a thing. And so, if Allah does not change by nature, then He's not going to be in time. This is just like really basic stuff that Korra doesn't understand.
Exist in time, since time is the measure of change. Then you're saying that your God is temporal. Right?
Sure.
Okay. But the purely actual actualizer is immutable. It doesn't change. Now, whatever.
What does it mean to be purely actual?
It means that you don't have any passive potency. It means that you don't change.
See, I like this. This is Christianity, guys. This is Christianity. It means you don't have any potency. That's just me. It's just music to my ears, man.
It means that you don't have any passive potency. It means that you don't change.
Those two things aren't synonymous. Something can contain passive potency and change, and something can also contain active potency and change as well.
GG's, bro.
Yes. So a purely actualizer is purely actual. So it doesn't have potential. So we're not talking about
active potency is potential.
Oh my, yo, she's so slow. No. She's slow. So
we're not talking about
active potency is potential.
Active potency is the capacity to change other.
She's laughing. Is she slow?
Passive potency.
Wait, what?
Okay, yeah, Korra is low tier, man. This girl's ridiculous, man. I even thought this girl's not even like close to Libiano. This girl's just dumb as shit. Active potency is a logical form of potency. It's not potency that is in relation to change, right? It's just the capacity, just the sheer capacity of something to cause or create something else, right? Passive potency is what actually limits the thing and allows the thing to change, right? That's what like makes up finite beings. But that's irrelevant right now. Ooh, my microphone. But that's irrelevant right now. What's relevant is that she thinks that active potency is potency in a real sense.
Active potency is the capacity to change other things?
Yes.
But where'd you grab that from?
Literally, you could grab that from the ABCs of scholastic philosophy.
Yes, sir. Oh my God! Yes. ABCs of scholastic philosophy. That's literally in Logos, by the way. That's literally in my server. You literally go into my server and you search up scholastic philosophy. ABCs of scholastic philosophy. Or is it Scholastic Dictionary? I can't remember which one. But right there, like, that's what we're talking about, guys. Come on. You said what?
Scholastic Metaphysics by Edward.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Or active potency is always having the ability to actualize a particular thing. That's what active potency is, according to Edward Fieser, who's a Christian.
What do you think? What do you think actualize another thing means? What do you think that is?
Actualize another thing. So to bring into existence something external from yourself.
To bring in, that's not what
Bro, she thinks this shit is Harry Potter, bro. To bring something to no. What?
That's not what
act is just existence, bro.
Yes, I agree with you. That's why I laughed when you said it like that.
Bro, so active potency is just the ability to change something else.
That's false. That's false.
Okay. Here, do you wanna pull up your you wanna pull up your source?
I'll just grab my iPad. Yeah. I'll just bring up my iPad. We can look at what. Okay, I already have it up. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Yo.
Not 327.
To be honest, sometimes I actually have no idea what's going on until I open Monday.com. And boom.
Okay.
Okay, I have it up.
Yeah, me too. You can show yours first.
Alright, perfect. This is Scholastic Metaphysics by Edward Fieser. And he speaks about active potency. This is...
There's no way all of you buy premium. Like, there's just actually no way. What? Spotify Premium, YouTube Premium, CapCut Pro, all these subscriptions. Come on now, come on. You guys are making me broke.
You could show it on the screen.
Yeah, I have it up.
Thank you.
So you can pass me big screen. I got you. So he talks about pure active potency or power unmixed with any passive potency or potential is just pure actuality, and identified by the scholastics with God. In everything other than God, active potency is mixed with passive potency. This difference is marked by the scholastic distinction between uncreated active potency and creative active potency. Alright, and then he goes on to talk about passive potency. I'm not seeing where he's making the claim that active potency is about changing things extrinsically.
An active potency is a power. A passive potency is potentiality in the strict sense.
And the definition that I gave you for active potency was having the power to actualize a particular thing at every single point in time.
What do you oh my god, what do you think I said active potency is?
You said that active potency is the ability to change something other than yourself. That's what you said.
Oh my god. Okay, what do you think change is?
What do you, bro, change? Going from one state to another.
So change is the actualization of potential. So when you're...
Yep.
Okay, so when you're talking about the active potency or active potential is the capacity to actualize something else, you're saying that it's the capacity to change something else. That's what...
Exactly. Cooked.
No, I'm saying that it's the actual...
Oh my god.
The capacity isn't extrinsic from the being that possesses the potency.
When did he ever... What did she just say? Wait, that's actually... What she just said is gibberish. Wait, what? The capacity isn't extrinsic. No one said anything about the capacity being extrinsic. No one said the capacity is extrinsic. Whatever it's changing is extrinsic. No one said the capacity is.
That's the issue.
Here,
so let me ask you this: is active potency?
I'll just show you. This is literally active potency and the ABCs of scholastic philosophy. I'll zoom in as much as I can here, right? So you have divisions of potency, objective and subjective potency. We don't really need to get into that. But as a rule, potency means subjective potency. This is the capacity of an existent being to give or receive an act. Thus, active potency, water has the capacity to be heated.
Beautiful.
That's passive potency.
Cooked.
So, hold on. Fire actively possesses the potential to do something intrinsic to.
No. Where did you get that from, sis? What are you talking about?
Correct? So it intrinsically possesses the ability to heat heat water, correct?
Core, how old are you?
No, that's what I was thinking in my head at the same time. I was like, how old is she? She sounds like a kid. Like, exactly, because no, you're not tracking. Oh my lord.
Old enough, man. I'm over the age of 18.
I don't know, because it doesn't seem like you're all the way there.
Exactly.
No. But the text that you just quoted refuted you. So fire. Let me ask you this: does fire intrinsically possess the potential to heat water? Yes or no?
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about, Cora.
Wait, hold on. No, you misdefined active potency.
No, I didn't.
Beautiful. No, because you said active potency is the ability to change something outside of yourself. I'm saying no, active potency is intrinsically possessing the potential to actualize something at every single point in time.
You never said those words.
Like, you never said that.
Everybody in the comments can vouch. Everybody in the comments can vouch. Wait, so just
you never said those words. What?
Wait, hold on. Let me.
What are you talking about?
What the hell are you?
Hold on. Let me fix my screen. Let me fix my screen. Alright. Let me even hear what she said.
The ability to change something outside of yourself. I'm saying no, active potency is intrinsically possessing the potential to actualize something at every single point in time.
You never said those words. You never said those.
Everybody in the comments can vouch.
I'm so sorry. I didn't even track what she said. I'm so sorry.
Intrinsically possessing the potential to actualize something at every single point in time.
Wait, intrinsically possessing the potential. No.
Never said those words. You never said those.
Wait. And I feel like she did say those words, to be honest. But she said those words, but that wasn't what you were saying. That wasn't what he was saying, though. She added the whole intrinsically had potential. No, that's not active potency. But she did. I think she did say those words, though. Okay.
Comments can vouch. Everybody in the comments can vouch. Wait, so just
you
as
never
the text
said
that
those
you just
words
quoted,
once.
Wait, no,
what are you talking
I did say
about?
that. What the hell are you talking about? Everybody heard me define active potency.
Bro, what are you talking about?
I swear to God I did. That's how you define active potency.
No, you
intrinsically possessing. Wait, hold on. Active potency is intrinsically possessing the ability to actualize something at every single point in time. That's
okay, can you get to your point, please?
Yeah, no. Okay, yeah. Why am I not Christian?
No, oh my God. We're talking about your God being temporal and spatial. And why
She said, why am I not Christian? You know damn well that wasn't the point.
And your God being temporal and spatial, like that's not God. That's not what we're talking about with God. Your God can't be both immutable and non-temporal.
What is immutability in this case? It
does not change. It doesn't change.
Okay, and I told you that change in this instance, it depends what form of change we're speaking about. If we're speaking about essential change, yes, I agree. God is immutable in this instance. But if we're speaking about all types of change, the answer is no.
Is God's essence temporal? Is God's essence temporal?
What does it even mean for an essence to be temporal? What the heck?
Meaning the essence is bound by space and time, or that the essence has geometric concepts like extension, space, whatever. Like, it's not that difficult, man.
Your essence is composed of rationality and animality, right? Your soul and your body are temporal. They exist within time.
Okay.
Does that sound like gibberish to you?
Okay.
So does God's essence...
we're talking about the specific attributes.
Is God's essence temporal? Is what God is he temporal?
Okay, beautiful. So essence in this instance, we're defining essence as a set of essential properties, correct? The same way that you brought into the example animality and rationality or body and soul and whatnot. So we're speaking about the essential properties.
This is
Now,
embarrassing.
if your question is temporal in the sense that it can go from one state to another, or it can be measured in terms of it can go from, yeah, I believe that God's attributes can go from potentiality to actuality. Yes.
Okay, so his essential attribute, because you just said essence is the essential attributes, right?
No, the set of essential attributes.
Okay.
If you're talking about the entirety of the set changing,
okay, so
that's different. But
Okay,
if we're
all right,
speaking about
okay. Are you
particular
saying that there? Okay, so now are you saying that there's certain parts of Allah that are temporal, and there's other
Not
parts of
parts.
Allah?
There are
So
particular
now, what are these
attributes, there are
attributes?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Wait, huh? What did she just say?
Okay, so now are you saying that there's certain parts of Allah that are temporal, and there's other
Not
parts of Allah?
There are
Not parts. Then what? What are they?
So now, what are these
there are
attributes?
Beautiful, beautiful. They're descriptors of the essence. But the attributes in this instance, for example,
Descriptors of the essence. So the attributes aren't anything real? What?
God's love can go from potential to actual.
So it changes. Is God's love essential to him?
God's capacity to love, yes. The volitional attribute, meaning the act, I mean, not necessarily.
So God's not.
What?
choose to love.
God's not necessarily loving.
God necessarily possesses the capacity to love, but God doesn't need to love everything at every single point in time.
Does say
simple as that.
Okay, hold on.
Is that not simple enough
God,
for you?
no. So God is not always actually loving.
No. God, right now, I believe that God is loving
You
something.
say, are you
God
saying?
doesn't
Hold on. You're saying
necessarily-
right now.
God doesn't wait,
You're
hold on.
saying
God
right
doesn't
now, like there's
necessarily
some.
need to wait. Hold on. God doesn't necessarily need to be actualizing this attribute at every single point in time.
So he doesn't have to always actually be loving.
Actually, no.
Okay, what
But he
are
always
attributes? Hold on.
possesses-
What are attributes that are essential to Allah? Like, is goodness essential to Allah? Like, does
Goodness,
he
sure.
always have to be good?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's not something that goes from a potency to act.
It would have to. I don't. Ooh,
No. There are certain
tempted.
properties. There are certain properties.
He wants to show the argument that it would, but nah, you gotta stick to the point.
That are volitional, and there are sort of, in better terminology would be Cambridge in this instance, and there are certain attributes.
What's a
that are
Cambridge change?
not. What is a Cambridge change? A relational change.
What does
a
that
change
mean?
that doesn't. Okay, so for example, if I say that something is Cambridge, I can say that this person in front of me.
Bro, by the way, that word Cambridge change isn't even in literature. It's Cambridge properties, right? It's not Cambridge change. That's weird.
They go from the state of standing to the state of jumping. It doesn't change anything. To me, my essence. Has nothing to do with me.
Oh, here, you could go to.
Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, food for two can stretch to feed three. But what happens when
Oh yeah, the quote that you pulled up for active potency,
Yep.
literally right above it, it says exactly what I said active potency is.
Where's all that, man?
You said what?
Active potency. Let's go ahead and wait. Hold on. My quote says what you said. My quote says, active potency is the capacity to bring around an effect. That was the definition I gave, not the definition you gave. I
that's not.
defined active potency as the capacity to bring around about an
You're
effect.
actually nuts,
You
Cora.
defined active potency. Wait, hold on. And
What did I define?
The ability to change another. I defined active potency as the capacity to bring something into existence or to actualize something. So the capacity in this instance is the active potency.
Oh my god.
So that's literally what he's saying.
You got baked by the
you're
quote that I
literally
just brought.
you're all over the place. You have no idea what's going.
Look, if God brings something into existence, that's God bringing something from potency to actuality, which is God bringing about change. What is she talking about?
So here-
No, I'm not all over the place. You're not tracking. That's what's happening.
No, I am, and that's why I'm able to see that you don't know what's going on, Cora.
No,
look,
brother, listen, you don't know left from right now.
Cora, when you say that God is essentially temporal, because I'm not gonna bite on the other thing, right?
What does
when
essentially
you say that
temporal mean?
his essence is temporal.
Bro, I didn't even commit myself to that. I said that particular
You literally said, oh, okay.
attributes can go from, from potential to actual.
If
sure,
you have
but I didn't say
particular,
the
okay.
essence. Wait, but hold on. The essence is the entire set of the essential properties.
Okay.
I don't believe that all of the attributes are capable from going from potential to actual.
Just some of them.
There are volitional attributes, and there are attributes that do not go from.
Are the attributes other than his essence?
No, but they're not identical to his essence either.
Okay, if you have these things that are not identical to the essence, right, and they are, and you're saying that they're not other than the essence. Okay, so these things compose the essence.
No, that doesn't follow.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, man. No, I don't think you should have gotten annoyed here. No, I feel your frustration as a fellow inquiring Catholic, but she probably thinks like composition is just the union of two distinct things. But she probably thinks composition is something like, I don't know. I don't even know what she's thinking. But not a lot of people share that intuition that we have about composition. So, but she's just been annoying this whole debate, bro. She's not tracking what's being said at all. Separable. Yeah, she might be thinking of things which are separable.
So you're saying
What we affirm in this instance is a minor real distinction.
Okay. So you're saying
What we affirm in this instance is a minor real distinction, which means that they're really distinct from the essence, but this doesn't necessarily entail separation, and this doesn't necessarily entail part-whole relations.
You see, that's not what's required for flipping composition, bro. You can have a composition that doesn't entail a separation. Yeah, if there's modes, then they would be modally composed. You would have a composition of modes. If I'm sitting down on my seat and looking up at the same time, then the mode of me looking up and sitting down would be two modes. I'd be composed of two different modes. What's she talking about?
Distinct from the essence, but this doesn't necessarily entail separation, and this doesn't necessarily entail part-whole relations either. Because the only way that you can assert. Wait, hold on. Because if you've read up on Mariology and what academia and literature say. Wait, hold on. So let me ask you this. Okay, beautiful. So according to any piece of literature about Mariology, do they say that real distinctions on their own make something apart?
So a real distinction, especially that isn't relational, is going to entail either some separation or composition. Yes.
That doesn't follow. No piece of literature.
Wait, hold on. Why did she say that doesn't follow to a disjunction? Why did she say that doesn't follow? One. And two, that's literally what it is.
Precedes you in that. However, what literature does actually say about Mariology is that real distinctions on their own don't entail composition. Rather, they posit other things, such as ontological priority, which is what I was going to talk to you about in a second.
Hi there. Would you like to receive a gift? I'm a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ.
We don't want that
of Latter-day
Mormon
Saints,
stuff, man.
And this is the Book of Mormon.
We good off that
Specifically
Mormon
talks about
stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
He's got Mormon ads on his channel, bro. Why are we doing this, bro? A black guy's got Mormon ads on his channel. Astaghfirullah.
Oh my God. You think that Allah's attributes are like ontologically prior?
No, I don't believe they're ontologically prior. I believe that they're counterfactually dependent.
So the study of Mariology itself is the study
of true parts.
Okay, so when you're talking about Mariology and the study of parts and wholes, the relations
true parts.
Okay,
specifically.
So you're saying that these things, they are really distinct from one another, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you're posing a minor real distinction.
Yeah.
Which to you means what?
A distinction within reality that does not necessarily entail separation in this instance.
Okay, so these things they aren't separate from the essence, right?
Which means they are incapable of being detached from the essence. So not only are they not separate, they cannot be separated.
Okay, a thing not being separated doesn't mean that it's not composed.
Exactly. Oh my, yes. Yes, we're eating. Yes. I've said this exact same thing on my TikTok page. I literally said word for word. Word for word. Yo. Separation entails composition, but composition doesn't entail separation. Like,
okay.
it's the reason why that's obvious is because separation already presumes that the thing is composed. That's why that's just obvious.
Not being separated doesn't mean that it's not composed.
Okay, yeah, that's why I posited other criterias. Because the other criterias that people who actually study mereology, unlike you, posit are things such as ontological priority. And the attributes of Allah are not ontologically prior to his essence, therefore they cannot be parts of the essence. Thank you very much. So again, can you cite a piece of literature
You think that
states
parts-
real distinctions?
Oh
Hold
my
on, just bring me one person within academia that says that real distinctions on their own entail composition, and then I can go ahead and concede the argument.
Okay,
Just
so
bring me one person.
okay, so
Real
do you know what
distinctions
a
solely.
yeah? So do you know what a part is?
Ah, yes.
Okay, what's a part to you?
Okay, in order for something to be a part, it must be really distinct from the other parts, really distinct from the whole, and they must be ontologically prior to the whole in this instance in order to compose the whole.
Where do you get this? Okay, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah. So when you're saying,
Beautiful.
okay, cool.
You agree
so
with
when
those,
you're,
correct?
yeah, that's fine. That's a fine definition.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
Just to clarify for everybody in here, the three criteria that I gave you are they are really distinct from one another, they are really distinct from the whole, and they're ontologically prior to the whole. You agree to this definition? So Allah's attributes, they are really distinct from each other, they are really distinct from the whole, but they are not ontologically prior, which means by the definition that you just granted to me, they are not parts. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So when you're saying that they're not ontologically, when you're saying that they're not.
What? That was so
ontologically
That was
prior,
so
right? You're saying that these parts don't come before the essence, right? That's all you. Okay, but this essence is composed of these attributes.
That's begging the question.
Okay, this is the problem with what you're saying. So you're saying that
Using
these
the
parts.
terminology composed, you already presuppose.
Okay, so a part is going to refer to these things that are not identical to one another. There's no relational distinction between these two things, right? And it's going to have some type of relation to the whole. For you, the whole is going to be the essence, but you're saying that there's no ontological.
That's the question as well.
But I'm literally restating what you're saying. You're saying
No,
that
that's
there's no ontological. You're saying it's false to what you're saying. I'm literally just repeating what you're saying.
You're begging the question and you're representing it as if I conceded composition when that's exactly what I negated. So what I
Oh my God,
stated
she has
is that
no
the
idea what's going
attributes
on.
are distinct from each other,
Mhm.
correct? They are distinct from the essence, all right? But they are not ontologically prior to the essence, which means it does not fulfill the criterias for being a whole.
Okay,
the
so
first thing that came
the
out
thing
of
that
your
you're
mouth,
so you have to be able to sit here and explain how these things are distinct without entailing composition. You can't just say
no, you need to wait. Hold on. Yes, I just proved it to you.
Okay,
so,
you-
based on the
So
definition
what
that I
you-
posited and you agreed to, they do not they do not fulfill the criterias of being a whole.
no. So
therefore,
okay,
they are not
your
parts. Sorry, they're not
definition.
parts.
No, your definition of part is fine. You have
Mm-hmm.
to then substantiate how these things are not ontologically prior. How these so your definition of part is fine. There's no problem with that.
Perfect. Then I'll display that the attributes are not ontologically prior.
Go ahead.
Within the Aetheric Creed, we believe that attributes are descriptors of the essence. The descriptors of the essence cannot exist prior to the essence. Therefore, the attributes are not ontologically prior to the whole. Thank you very much.
But the essence is the whole.
You're begging the question.
How is he begging the question? That's just the def. What the fuck?
The essence is the essence not the whole? Like, what are the attributes of the attributes of the essence?
Saying that the attributes are descriptors of the essence.
Yes. And then the attributes being descriptors of the essence necessarily imply. Wait, hold on. The attributes being descriptors of the essence necessarily implies that the essence exists in order for something to be described by the attributes, which means that the attributes cannot exist prior to the essence, because the attributes are what is describing the essence.
The cap, the plastic, and the paper are attributes of the water bottle. Oh, but the attributes, the descriptors of this water bottle cannot exist prior to the water bottle.
No, the materials aren't descriptors of the water bottle.
Do you understand that this is? You understand that this is what you're saying, right? Hold on, you understand that that's exactly what you're saying.
That's disanalogous.
No, that's exactly. You're saying that the attribute. Hold on. You're saying that the attributes. You're saying that the attributes are descriptors. You're saying that the attributes are descriptors of the essence of just what this thing is. Oh, but these attributes can't exist prior to the essence because the essence is the thing that we're talking about. Oh, the plastic, the paper, and the... Hold on.
Wait. That's why I'm cutting you off. You're misrepresenting.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, beautiful.
The attributes cannot be prior to the essence because the attributes are of the essence, right? The attributes are of the essence. You know the essence. You know the essence by its attributes. The attributes are of the essence. They're pointing to the essence.
So the reason why this is not analogous is you agree that things such as plastic, water, and paper exist prior to the water bottle. Things such as omnipotence and omniscience and omnibenevolence do not exist prior to the essence of God. So it's disanalogous. Unless you can bring me an instance in which omnipotence exists prior to the essence of God, which was being described.
You understand that this is what you have to prove, right? You understand that you're just saying that. No, you just stated that. So I'm rejecting premise 2, where you're saying that the descriptors can't exist prior.
Okay, and I just proved to you. The issue is.
So prove that the descriptors can't exist prior.
Okay, beautiful. So I'll give you an example of a descriptor, which is being all-knowing, i.e. omnipotence. So omnipotence is a descriptor of the essence in this instance. Omnipotence cannot exist without the essence, all right? So there is a necessary counterfactual dependence between the attribute, which is omnipotence, and the essence in this instance. Therefore, the attributes are not ontologically prior to the essence because the essence counterfactually depends upon the attribute counterfactually depends upon the essence to exist. And the reason as to why...
Yo, she's yapping. Oh my lord. Hello? Yo, there's no way Elijah downloaded all this information. Nah. I would have been gone.
Instance, therefore, the attributes are not ontologically prior to the essence because the essence counterfactually depends upon the...
Because the essence counterfactually depends. Oh my lord.
To the essence because the essence counterfactually depends upon the... The attribute counterfactually depends upon the essence to exist. And the reason as to why your example with the water bottle...
What do you think a counterfactual dependence is?
Okay, if A necessarily implies B and B necessarily implies A, that is a counterfactual dependence relation.
What?
Oh my god.
No.
You're so lost, it's not even
Oh my god. So when you're saying that the essence is counterfactually dependent upon the attributes, right? That's your claim. Your argument that you just gave literally does not defeat the fact that these things, one, they're not the same thing, and two, you're already presupposing some ontological priority, saying that
what's
either...
the error in my reason?
Okay, when you're saying that the attributes, right, which are descriptors of the essence,
yes,
right, that they counterfactually, or the essence counterfactually depends upon the attributes, or vice versa, whichever one you said, right? These things of which they depend upon one another. One, you're saying that the essence of God is dependent.
No. Counterfactual dependency isn't a real dependence relation, by the way, within philosophy.
Yo, her philosophy is cooked from all over the place.
To clarify.
It's okay. Either way it goes, you're saying that these things which are not identical, you're saying that they don't exist apart from the essence, right? Okay, but these things which are not identical are the things that make up the essence.
That's again begging the question, because using the terminology making up the essence is presupposing
That's what it is. That's what a part is.
That's begging the question.
That's what a part is. That's what a part is.
That's literally what a part is. How can something be a part without making up what the thing is? What? How can something be a part of an essence without making up what the essence is? What?
No, you conceded to my definition, which necessarily implies ontological
Do you understand?
priority.
You have no idea what's going on. Do you understand that when you defined, you understand, Cora, you understand that when you defined part, I'm agreeing with your definition of part. Now, your job is to prove that there is no ontological dependence. But in the things that you're...
No, I didn't say ontological dependence. I said ontological priority.
Priority, my fault.
You have
ontological ontological priority. That's my fault. Your job is to prove that there's no ontological priority. You're giving an argument that is presupposing ontological priority.
No, I didn't. The argument in this instance... Wait, hold on, beautiful. Me positing counterfactual dependency is a direct negation of ontological priority. Maybe this is a tracking issue on your end. Maybe I have to show you the definition of counterfactual dependency so you can understand what's going on. So, when I posit counterfactual dependency between the attributes and the essence, that is me directly negating ontological priority of the attributes to the essence.
Is the essence without the attributes?
But essence is a set of essential properties, so absolutely not.
And the attributes are going to be the essential properties.
In order for the essence to be the essence, if I were to take away some set of essential properties, Allah would not be what Allah is. Like if I took away his omnipotence, right?
Of course not.
Okay, but his omnipotence is not identical to his omniscience, right?
No.
Okay, so
and
these
by the
things...
way, God is not omnipotent, just to clarify. A better example that I would give would be like omniscience and...
Wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. What?
It is not identical to his omniscience, right?
No.
Okay, so
and
these
by the
things...
way, God is not omnipotent, just to clarify.
God is not omnipotent. Oh my lord.
Better example that I would give would be like omniscience and... I don't know, like power in this instance, being all-knowing and being the most powerful.
Mouse is raising investment.
We are so cooked.
And here's why we think...
So God's spatial, he's temporal, he's mutable, and he's not omnipotent.
Okay, so no, God is not omnipotent, he's omniscient. I believe that God is spatio-temporal. And I also believe that God is immutable if what you mean by immutability in this case is essential change, or being changed by another.
You got me.
And again,
you got me.
To prove, and
you got me.
I got you there.
You got me. Woo! You got me. That God crazy. Woo! You got me.
You got baked though.
Man.
That God crazy.
Change, or being changed by another. I believe that God is spatio-temporal. And I also believe that God is immutable if what you mean by immutability in this case is essential change, or being changed by another.
You got me.
And again,
you got me.
To prove, or being changed by another.
That's cooked.
You got me.
Oh again, my lord.
Yet to prove, and you got me. I got you there.
You got me. Woo!
She's talking about some. I got you there. I got you there, bro. Stop.
You got me. That God crazy. Woo! You got me.
You got baked though.
Man. Hey,
you got baked though. You got baked though.
Baked me. Baked me,
you
man.
Got baked.
Yep. You got a God that's spatial, temporal, changes, and not omnipotent. You got me.
GG.
You got baked.
You got me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Take that one.
It's okay, but my God isn't
Take that one.
That's just a material being, man. Yo.
God isn't omnipotent.
Someone said on YouTube, Watch Elijah. Sorry. That's rude. Smart Youth said, watch Elijah versus Mike the Metaphysician. He admits he believes in 2 omnipotent beings. Chat, should I watch that after this? I mean, Metaphysics Mike. Alright. Cool.
Take that one. Hey, all the Muslims in here, I just want y'all to remember, your guy is spatial, so he limited. He temporal. He changes. He's mutable, and he not all powerful. Go ahead, y'all got it. Y'all got it, bro.
And he's not all powerful
no more. What are we talking about? We're not even talking about God. What do I need to defeat? Yeah, I got her to concede that she just believe in a created being. That's just a created dude.
He said that that's just a created dude. That's just a guy. We just talk about guy at this point.
Like everything that I just listed about Allah, that's me.
Yo,
I'm spatial, I'm temporal, I'm mutable, and I'm not omnipotent. That's literally me. That's me. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? This is y'all goat.
This is your goal.
Spatial, temporal, mutable, not omnipotent. Elijah, that's your dog. That's your dog. I start talking about Allah. You be like, you talking about Allah? You talking about Elijah? That's them. I want every single Muslim to remember that. Now it makes sense.
Yo, okay, now I see why the Muslims are pissed off on this guy's TikTok.
You be like, God ain't got the power to become man. It makes sense. He not all powerful. That was my ignorance. I was thinking that they believed in an all powerful God. Nah, that was on me. My fault. They saying damage control. Like I gotta control some. That's sad, right? So that was two. Some of y'all best Muslims. Omar come up here saying crazy things about God. Cora said, "Hey, I'm finna top what he got going on." Watch what I say about God.
Yo, the American lingo makes it way funnier. Like, I could even pull off that type of joke. I gotta talk about what.
Go ahead. Watch what I say about God.
Watch what I say about God.
Alright, go ahead, bro.
Oh, my days.
Y'all got it. And the Muslims, they don't even know what's going on.
They even know what's going on.
Don't even know what's going on. Hold on. As a matter of fact, you wasn't low enough. So, just for the people in here to understand, when you say that God is temporal, time is going to be the measurement of change, of movement, right? So whatever exists in time changes. But God does not change, therefore he does not exist in time. When you say that God is temporal, right, it's literally a contradiction, right? Because the purely actual actualizer can't exist in time. And you can literally just prove that. That's the argument for it. Time is the measurement of change. Whatever changes exist in time. But the purely actual actualizer does not exist, does not change, or does not change, therefore he does not exist in time. It's literally, that's very simple, very easy. So for her to say that her God is temporal, she's literally saying that her God is not God.
Yep.
Congrats, she won.
She won at what cost?
That's what she was trying to get around to. Her God being spatial implies limitations.
She won at what
Her God
cost?
being mutable implies that it's not God, because the purely actual actualizer cannot change. Being mutable means that you do change, but the purely actual actualizer does not change. Therefore, the purely actual actualizer is immutable. Their God isn't immutable; it's mutable.
But not only that, though. there would actually be a more powerful God than Allah granting the metaphysics. So if she says Allah is mutable and she grants the metaphysics about act and potency, that means the pure act, the pure actual being would be a superior being to Allah. Yo.
So it's not God. Every single thing.
Her God would have to be actualized, right?
She said just proves that her God is not God, and you guys think that she could.
All about me. Maybe Muhammad was a prophet cause he was right about the half-brain part.
Wait. Someone saying metaphysics. Oh, this one? Wait, huh?
Now, somebody might be thinking, well, why does this debate even matter? Well, it matters.
Oh, because this is only 26 minutes. This is... should we watch the cross question? Should we watch the cross exam? Or maybe we should watch the cross exam. Yeah, we should watch the cross exam.
You're one sentence away from launching your website with Base 44. Since the beginning of the internet, there's never been such a fun, fast...
I am supposed to be studying, but I'm using these clips to revise. I'm using these clips to...
The meal deal plus a McDonald's.
Yo!
Select the burger, medium fries, select the drink, plus a choice of 1 of 5.
I'm using these clips to observe ops, you know. Metaphysics might be a future op. Cora op, Libiano op. So I'm learning.
Do you believe in two omnipotent beings? Yes or no?
I told you, yes, in the sense of Jesus being the Lord at the Lord's right hand. That doesn't make him omnipotent like the Father. He literally gets it from the Father.
Is
That's
only
the point.
God, is only God omnipotent?
No, he also
Oh my Lord.
predicates that authority dynamically to the Son.
So you believe in two omnipotent beings? Perfect. Would you?
Okay, all right. Now it is time for the moment everybody has been waiting for, the cross-examination. Let me go ahead and swap this over because Eli will be going first. Eli, you have 20 minutes to cross-examine metaphysics. Mike, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. As soon as you start talking, your 20 will start. If we do get jumbled up at any moment, I will stop the time until you guys get yourselves together. If there is any clarification, I will pause time. I want to announce that I paused the time. So if you feel like it's gone a little over, that's because I decided to pause it because I want you guys to clear up what you're doing. So other than that, keep it respectful. Try to keep me out of it as much as you can. And yeah, let's get it going. As soon as you start, first question, timer starts.
Hey, Mike, do you commonly say that...
When is the next part? I can't post that next part because it got restricted. Because we started insulting each other. So it got restricted. So I had to delete that part.
Tyrians use words like ousia and hypos.
What is Elijah? I think he's inquiring Catholicism.
That is not used the same in scripture.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, so you believe that if doctrine that's very important, like the Trinitarian doctrine, and it's not found in scripture, then we shouldn't use those words?
So not quite. It's not merely that you're using certain words, right? Words aren't like evil or bad by themselves. It's not merely that it's just Greek philosophy. The problem is that these words, this philosophy drives a specific theology. Right, homoousios didn't fall out the sky. It was used in a particular way. So the problem is that not just they adopted words, but they adopted pagan theology in the process.
In a very specific. Okay. And you made the claim that the Trinitarian doctrinal language wasn't really solidified until the 4th century, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe that Jesus is God by predication and the Father is God by identity?
Yes.
Is the phrase God by predication found anywhere in Scripture?
No.
Is that language, God by predication or God by identity, used anywhere within the first 5 centuries of Christianity?
So no, but that's just
Okay,
a
that's
word
all I-
that,
that's
that's
all I
just
need.
a
That's all I
yeah,
need.
that,
all I
that's
need.
just a that's
all I
just
need.
a that's
That's
just
all
a
he
word
needs.
concept
That's all I
fallacy.
need.
No, I can clarify.
Okay.
Is it
found?
Yeah.
Is that
It's a-
language?
that's
Is
a-
that language found anywhere in the first 1,000 years of Christianity?
Listen.
Is that language used
Hold on,
anywhere in
guys,
the first
guys, real
1,000
quick.
years?
Hold on, real quick. do allow him to give his rebuttal to that really quick, to your question, Eli.
Go ahead.
Okay, so listen, Elijah, the problem is not merely just the words. I told you it's the theology that it drives. Okay, and so what you're talking about, it's not, the Bible doesn't specifically say Jesus is God by predication, those words. That's just a word concept fallacy. If that's to be equivalent, then you would actually have to demonstrate what words in the Bible are equivalent to ousia hypostasis. I can do that with predication.
Can I go? Life.
Oh yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah, I'm just. I can prove predication without the words.
Is that
predication?
Cool. Is that language found anywhere in Christianity for the first 1,000 years?
Not the specific word predication. No.
Okay. Would you agree with Jesus when he calls the Pharisees hypocrites for placing a standard on others that they themselves do not keep?
Yeah, Mark chapter 7, dope verse.
Okay. So you then would have to agree that by your own standard, you're a hypocrite for condemning Trinitarians for using language that's not necessarily found in Scripture, but you are defining theological definitions like God by identity and God by predication that's not used within the first 1,000 years of Christianity, right?
So that sounded like a statement, not a question, but yeah. So listen, no. Okay, I've just explained to you how that wouldn't be analogous, because in one case we're talking about the specific words, right? That's what you're saying. And in the other that I'm saying is that we can still have the concept. Jesus is predicated divinity in the Bible. You don't have to have the word predication.
Okay, cool. So that whole point that you have was just moot. Is there anything that
No.
only God can do?
Yeah.
That literally refutes his whole point, because where's the Trinity in the Bible?
Okay. Is there anything that the Father does that Jesus cannot do?
Mm-hmm.
There's things that the Father does that Jesus cannot do?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so Jesus was just mistaken in John 5:19 when he says whatever.
How does this guy use my same... Wait. How is he... Hold on. How is he using the same arguments I use? This was the same argument I used against Purify on Darren Dorsey's live a couple weeks ago. Yo. That's insane, man.
Father does, the Son does likewise?
Okay, so do the Father and Son have a different mode of existence?
Obviously, I'm asking you a question.
You got it. Yeah, no question. Still, it's your turn. Mike.
It's more of a clarifier, though, right? Can they have? Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Fine. I'll be sorry.
Yeah, answer it away where it's not.
Yeah, I'll just make it into an assertion. So even in Trinitarianism, there are things that the Father can't do in his hypostasis that the Son can't, right? So the Father's hypostasis has things like aseity, where that is communicated to the Son.
The Son has aseity, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's a communicated attribute. They have different modes of existence.
My question is, was Jesus mistaken in John 5:19 when he says whatever the Father does, the Son does likewise? That's a yes or no.
No, because contextually that's not talking about like his, for example, self-existing. Jesus is generated. The Father is not. There's just one thing, even you agree.
So Jesus wasn't mistaken when he says that he could do everything that the Father does, he does likewise?
No, listen, you're isolating a passage and taking it out of context.
Okay, perfect. So Jesus can do things that only God can do?
Martin Luther said, I want to make Moses so German that no one would suspect he was a Jew. Now that can sound...
Get out of my face, bro.
So,
okay, perfect. So Jesus can do things that only God can do?
So he can do things that only God can do in virtue of authority, right? So like forgiving sins. Jesus can't forgive sins on basis of his own nature. That must come from God. But that doesn't mean that, quote, only God in that sense can forgive sins. Now he predicates that to Jesus. Jesus predicates it to the apostles. He also gave them the authority to forgive sins.
Yeah, that's not my question, bro. I'm asking you, Jesus can do things that only God can do. Jesus says, whatever the Father does, the Son does likewise. You said that there's things that only the Father can do. Jesus is saying, whatever the Father does, the Son does likewise. And Jesus is not mistaken when he says that. So Jesus can do the things that only God can do, right?
I'm following you. What I'm doing is translating Trinitanese. What you mean by only Father or only God can do? Yes. When you're asking the question, only God can do, that must be understood in terms of authority, not in terms.
I like how he's pressing him here, but like there's a way to land this argument where you get them to concede that if two things do the same thing, like likewise, like get him to concede from that perspective before then jumping to the verse, because he's now trying to look for a way to get around it, but he's still pressing him on this stuff.
That must be understood in terms of authority, not in terms of nature. That's
Okay,
the point. If
so-
we're talking about nature, well then no.
Okay,
But if we're talking about authority, then yes.
Does Jesus say in terms of authority, I could do everything that the Father does, but not in
Yes,
terms of nature?
yes, that is
In
correct.
in that verse, that's
Yeah,
what he says?
all throughout that. This is the book of John, correct?
In that verse,
I'm
did he
asking
say
in this verse,
that?
does Jesus say not in terms of authority? I mean, not in terms of nature, only by authority.
Yes, of course he does.
Okay, so we can
Yeah.
read John 5:19. It says, Jesus said, truly, truly, I say to you, the Son does nothing of his own, but what he sees the Father doing. For whatever the Father does, the Son does likewise. For the Father loves the Son and shows him all that he himself is doing. So Jesus says, not by nature, only by authority there? Yes or no?
No, he doesn't use
Okay.
those. He doesn't use those exact words. But
Well,
this
you just said that he-
this
you just said that
this entire language is predicative of him. So
Okay,
he
so you
gets
just
it
said
from
that
the
he-
Father.
Okay, cool. You just said that he did. Perfect. So does the Father do anything that requires omnipotence?
Does the Father do anything that requires omnipotence? I mean, I want to say yes. Yeah.
Okay. Does the Father give his omnipotence to the Son then?
His omnipotence? No.
Does the Son have omnipotence?
He was given all power. Yes.
So the Son is Jesus a separate being from the Father that has omnipotence?
Of course. That's why it had to be given to him. He didn't.
Oh my Lord, cooked.
Already have it.
So you believe in two omnipotent beings?
So one is omnipotent in virtue of being the Lord at the Lord's right hand. This is Psalm 110. You need to learn this. Okay, so that is a right.
This guy's so dumb. When God communicates something to a finite creature, he communicates it in a finite mode because the creature is finite. If the creature was to receive some infinite power from God, then the creature cannot have a finite mode. It would have an infinite mode. So the creature it wouldn't even be a creature. So if he's saying that Jesus Christ has omnipotence, even if it's communicated, fine. Like Trinitarians agree that omnipotence is communicated to Christ. But if he has it, then he's infinite. Like, it's GG's, bro.
Powers motif. That's what
So,
that is,
hold on.
Elijah.
Yes or no? Do you believe in two omnipotent beings? Yes or no?
I told you yes, in the sense of Jesus being the Lord at the Lord's right hand. That doesn't make him omnipotent like the Father. He literally gets it from
Hold
the
on.
Father.
Is
That's
only
the point.
God, is only God omnipotent?
No, he also predicates that authority dynamically to the Son.
So you believe in two omnipotent beings? Perfect. Would you say that slapping the president deserves a higher punishment than slapping
Okay,
a random
no,
stranger?
listen. There are things that Jesus can't do
Can you-
as a human.
brother, we're on to another question.
No,
Can you-
yeah, you're trying to go to another question. You skipped over the other
You're
one
taking
too
my-
from
you're taking my
chapter
thought.
from chapter 12. Yeah, but you're also not trying to let me expound in full, though, right?
I
That's
just
what
need
you're
a
doing.
clarification. You said yes. I got the clarification. We're moving on.
I get that. I
Absolutely.
get that, but you should
Trying to
let
run
me
away
be
from the
clear.
belt.
Slapping the president deserves a higher punishment than slapping a random stranger.
Yes.
Okay. So the weight of offense rises with the dignity of the person offended?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you agree that God's dignity is infinite?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that a perfectly just judge punishes every crime accordingly?
No.
A perfectly just judge does not punish every crime accordingly.
So no, some crimes he pardons. He has mercy, grace.
What is justice?
Justice is going to be punishment for some type of, wrongdoing.
So a perfectly just judge doesn't punish every crime accordingly.
Yeah, just like some judges in our court systems can look at other details and give people grace. Yeah, a just God gives grace as well.
All right, that's perfectly fine. I'm asking you, in regards to justice, you just defined it as the punishment of the crime, right? So that means if you are perfectly just, which means that you perfectly punish the crime.
Dude, you're presupposing that every crime must be punished.
He's talking about justice as an act. Like when you enact justice and you enact justice perfectly, you're punishing each criminal in a perfect way. That's the whole point.
That God can still be just. Yeah, Elijah, you constantly are cutting me off, dude. You're constantly cutting me off. I don't know what the problem is. Yes, I am answering you. You have to let me finish.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Let's let Mike give his response to that last question, and then if you're not satisfied, you can. Let Mike. Yeah. So let's do this. Time is paused. Eli, ask the question again. Make your last statement that you just made, and then we're gonna give Mike a little time to respond to that. Then I'm gonna play the timer, and I'm gonna continue the timer, and then we're gonna get back on track.
All right.
Bro, what are you talking about? Someone said in my chat, watch the debate with Metaphysics Mike from the previous video. And I said, all right, fine. I'm going to watch what you want to watch. So I'm here. This guy's talking about you've been watching this guy for 5 hours. Do you have a crush? Bro, what are you talking about?
Is the punishment of crimes. Would you say a perfectly just judge punishes every crime?
Excuse me, sir. How old were
The
you
odds
when you
is
made your first
crazy.
million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
No, some crimes he has mercy on people. That doesn't make him not just.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, stop right there. All right. Timer is about to start. Go.
Okay. So in Matthew chapter 16, verse 27, it reads, "For the Son of Man is going to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and he will repay each person according to what he has done." The Son is the judge, right? Okay, and in judgment, he's going to repay each person according to what he's done, right?
Yep, restitution.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Would you agree that God is perfectly just?
I mean, yes. I wish you could define that more, because again, it seems like you're presupposing that means every evil thing must be punished, but he actually bestows grace on some.
Okay, if there's some grace that can be bestowed, right? God is still going to punish that accordingly. If it doesn't, mean one thing, he would still punish that accordingly.
Okay, so then you're baking in mercy in there as well, mercy and grace.
Right.
Like that would still be just.
Yes, it's
okay, well then I'll say yes. Thank you for that. That's a good clarification.
Okay, so God perfectly punishes every offense against him, right?
Sure, as long as that's including the idea that not every single thing he shows mercy to.
Okay, so in Matthew 25, Jesus says, "Whatever you did not do to the least of these, you did not do to me." So when I fail to give, am I sinning against God?
Well, I think in this verse, it's saying Jesus, right? So you're presupposing Jesus is God. It would be like an offense towards him, is what he said.
What?
When you do something against your neighbor, are you also sinning against?
Bro, I obviously sleep. Come on, this pattern.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the scripture says. So when you fail to render to God what is due to him, right? Is that what sin is?
No, sin is a transgression of law. Yeah, that's right. That's one thing I didn't address in your thing. No, I think that's you made that up. Sin, like where's the definition that says sin is that.
Is laziness a sin?
It can be, yeah.
It can be.
Right,
In laziness, do you have to do anything extra?
In laziness, do you have to do anything extra? Can you explain that more?
Okay, we could just skip that. When the two people, the couple, sin against the Holy Spirit, right? When they withhold the payment that was due, is that a sin?
Yeah.
Did they do anything extra, or did they withhold to God what was due to him?
I don't know what you mean. Did anything extra? What's that?
This metaphysics Mike guy is so trash. He's so trash. Like Libiano and Cora, way better than him. Way better than him. Like every single time I talk to him, every single time I hear him, he just sounds ridiculous. Wait.
Really is an issue because it's not submission.
Oh, it's not an issue.
Reason means?
Wait, do you have an objective reason for Jesus being God?
Did you explain what objective reason means?
Do you have an objective reason for Jesus being God?
Did you explain what it means?
Don't dodge. Wait,
Did you
don't
explain
dodge.
what it means?
It's not my fault that you don't know what it means.
So you don't. Wait, how is that not my fault? No.
That you don't know what that
You're
means?
the person that invoked.
There is food in Gaza, but for most families, it's still out of reach. After so much destruction.
So you explain what objective reason means?
Wait, do you have an objective
Objective reason.
Did you explain what reason means?
Do you have an objective reason for Jesus
Did you
being
explain
God?
what it means?
Don't dodge. Wait,
Did you
don't
explain what
dodge.
it means?
It's not my fault that you don't know what it means.
So you don't. Wait,
Wait,
how is that not my fault? No.
fault that you don't know what that
You're
means?
the person that invoked the term in the conversation, Cora, and you added the specific term objective to reason. I don't know what objective reason means as it's distinguished from subjective reason. It's your fault that you're not able to distinguish between the two. That's the issue. So what I need you to do, Cora, is to tell me whether there's actually a distinction between an objective reason and a subjective reason. What's the difference between the two?
Oh my goodness.
So you can't tell me. Could you tell me what the difference between the two is? Could you tell me the difference between the two?
What does that even mean, though? Objective reason. Objective reason? Objective reason?
Could you tell me the difference between the two? Could you tell me the difference between the two?
Justify the proposition Jesus is
So
God?
what the live here is about is by you changing my mind. You said the
Wait,
reason
is
why.
this not-
Hold on,
wait,
1 second,
hold on,
Cora.
do you not have
The
justification
reason
for
why.
the proposition?
The reason why you said that you can change my mind is because there is no objective reason for Jesus being God or for someone to believe that Jesus is God. So I
Wait, hold
asked
on,
you,
do you agree
what
that
is
there
the
was no
difference
objective
between
reason, or
an
do you disagree?
objective reason and subjective reason? And I don't want to strawman what you believe about those definitions for those terms. So I'm asking you what those terms mean, Cora. That's what I'm asking you to do. So what does objective reason mean, and what's the distinction between objective and subjective reason? Go ahead.
Are you gonna,
Yeah,
oh,
if you
perfect.
define the
Now,
two
the
terms
problem
differently,
is-
yes. Because I don't want to assume what you think. I don't want to assume what you think.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So the problem is, and it's very evident for everybody that's watching this live, you are dodging. Do you agree or
I'm
disagree
not
that there's
dodging
no objective
anything.
reason?
I'm dodging your pivot, if anything, but I'm not
Wait,
dodging
there's
anything.
no
Dodging your
pivot.
pivot.
I'm asking
Yeah.
you to justify
So
the proposition
you
Jesus is
want
God.
me to justify the proposition that Jesus is God and not give a reason as to why I shouldn't believe that. But the reason you tried to
Wait,
establish, by the way, hold on, I
reason
didn't
as
interrupt
to
you.
why
I
you
didn't
shouldn't
interrupt
believe
you,
it
Cora.
is-
I
yes,
didn't
you
interrupt
did.
you, Cora. I
You
didn't
did.
interrupt you.
You did
So I'm gonna
multiple
continue. I'm
times,
gonna continue. I'm gonna
did
continue with what I'm
multiple
saying.
times,
So
actually.
the problem that we have, the problem that we
Oh
have
my
here is as follows. Cora, you said that there is no objective reason to believe that Jesus Christ is God. So I asked you, does objective reason mean something different from subjective reason, or does objective reason just mean a reason? And if so, then when you say a reason, do you believe that that is a particular fact that may push someone to be able to believe something? And if that's the case for that, then I could show you some facts from scripture that could push someone to believe that. But I don't want to define your terms for you, terms especially that I didn't bring. So is there a difference between objective belief and subjective belief, Cora?
Okay, what's unfortunate about this question is that it's very obvious that you're just confused as to the terminology that I'm utilizing, and you're trying to pivot away from the point that I'm
I don't
making.
know your
That
particular
is-
register. I don't
wait,
know your
I'm
register.
Speaking. Yeah, and I'm in the middle of speaking. So
Yeah, because
you're
I
gonna
don't know
listen
where
while
I don't know your register,
Now,
Cora.
the point
That's why.
that's being made is that you
made the claim that Jesus is God and you want somebody to change your mind.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that there is no objective reason to accept the proposition Jesus is God. Do you agree or do you disagree?
I can't agree or disagree if I don't know what objective reason means as distinguished from subjective reason.
So you don't know what
Yeah,
objective
I'll tell you
reason
this.
means.
I don't know what
This is an
objective reason means as
embarrassing
distinct from
situation for
subjective
you.
reason.
This
What
is
does
a
the term
very
objective
embarrassing
do
situation
to the
for you, sir.
phrase reason
is a
that changes it from a
very
subjective reason, Cora? You
situation
repeating the
for
fact
you.
that it's
Perfect.
embarrassing doesn't prove that it's
This
embarrassing.
is
You
so
repeating that this is
sad. So
embarrassing
you don't
doesn't
know
show
what
anything.
Objective means.
So now we've gotten to the actual proposition.
This is
So
your big guy.
how does the
This is
term
your big guy,
objective
Wait, this is your big
change
guy.
the idea of
No
subjective when you
way.
apply it to reason, Cora? How does it
Oh
change?
Wait, hold on. This is the big guy you guys were hyping.
Here's what I'll do.
Say.
Here's what I'll
This
do.
is the
Here's
big
what
guy
I'll do.
say.
Cora, do you want to formally
Wait, hold
debate
on,
Jesus
do
being
you-
God?
Who are you? Wait, how about let's do this. Wait,
Clearly
I,
someone that you would like to come into
How
the
about-
live stream. Do you want to formally
No,
debate Jesus being
I got
God?
it sent to me. Wait, I got it sent to me. How about we'll do this? Are you gonna come to Speaker's Corner at any time? Well, within August.
Okay, hold on. Oh, so they've been they've been planned this. The Speaker's Corner thing. This was from 2 months ago. So they are coming this month. Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, all of the Muslims, including me and some other people, are coming to Speaker's Corner in August. Pull up.
You
How
want
does that
me
sound?
to pull up to Speaker's Corner in August
I
with
mean,
all the Muslims?
well, there's gonna be Muslims.
Now here's his thing.
There's
Here's the
gonna
thing.
be
Here's the thing.
Christians there,
The last
and we're
time,
here
hold on.
right now. Do you wanna
So
discuss this
the
right now?
last time we can do it formally.
We can
We'll
either
set.
discuss this
Let's do a
now,
formal
or we
debate.
can
I
do it
want
at
to do a formal
Speaker's Corner.
debate. Do you want to do a formal debate?
Wait, we can do it now, or
We can do a
Speaker's
formal
Corner?
debate. We can do a formal debate because
can
this
do it
entire
now,
dialogue,
or we can do
it's
it at
been like
Speaker's
pulling
Corner.
teeth to be able to get you to define what objective
We
reason
can
mean as
do it
distinct from
now,
subjective
or
reason.
we can do it
I
in
don't have a
Speaker's
problem
Corner.
doing it now, but we've clearly shown that you're not able to have such a dialogue. So I'm offering you a
No,
formal
you've
Damn.
debate.
clearly shown that you
Do
don't
you
know
want to
what
have a
objective
formal
means.
debate? Do you want to have a formal debate?
Wait, I don't.
Do you want to have a formal
I'm
debate?
fucking busy,
But
bro.
you have
I don't
time to
have
go
time
to
for formals. I'm
Speaker's
fucking
Corner
busy.
and scream at Speaker's Corner?
I mean, Speaker's Corner is in 3 months. What the heck? That's
We can
pre-planned.
plan a debate in that time. Do you
What
want to
the
plan a
heck?
debate for that
Wait,
time?
okay, so wait, hold
Do you
on.
want to plan for
Pull up to
3 months
Speaker's
in
Corner,
time?
We can run it right now.
Do you want
Run
to
it
do
right
a
now, or
debate?
pull up
Do
to
you want to
Speaker's
run a
Corner?
debate
Run
formally
it right
with
now,
me when you
or
want to go
pull
to the
up to
corner?
Speaker's
Do you want to
Corner.
debate formally?
Run it
Do
right
you want
now,
to
or
debate
pull up to
formally?
Speaker's Corner.
We
Just
have been
simple as
running it,
that.
Cora, but clearly you've been trying to overtalk
No,
and you've been trying to
clearly
clip
you've
farm.
been completely
So
What?
Cora,
on the
here's the
definition of
problem that we
objective.
have.
You don't
No,
know what it
I've been
means.
unable to
Let's run it
understand
right
and
now.
actually distinguish for
Yes, you've been
you
unable
what the
to
particular
understand
terms
the word
actually mean.
objective.
No, I have no problem with the
You've
term
been
objective.
incapable
I have
of
a problem with you
understanding the word
using the way
objective.
objective when you tie it to the term reason as it's supposed to be distinguished from subjective, Cora. Now, I can sit here and
Okay,
define
now,
objective and
but
subjective, but that's not the point here. I need you to actually define your terms. I understand.
Oh
it's
my
hilarious.
gosh.
So here's what I need you
Brother,
to do,
listen,
Cora.
we
Here's
can
what I need you to
discuss it
do.
now, or you
I
can pull up
offer
to
you
Speaker's Corner.
right
You
now
pick.
in front of
You
everyone,
pick.
in all of your audience.
You
I want to
pick right
formally
now.
debate you,
We
Cora.
can discuss
I want
now,
to formally
or we
debate
can
you.
go to Speaker's
Cora,
Corner.
I want to formally debate you. The last time I
We
went to
can
Speaker's
run it
Corner,
now,
the
or we
last
can
time
go
I
to
went to
Speaker's
Speaker's
Corner.
Corner,
I'm not
I was
going to the
physically
formal bit.
apprehended. Now, the only time I've been there since
Weren't
was
you at
literally
Speaker's
last
Corner 3
week.
days ago?
I just was saying.
Specifically about Christ's own declaration. So Christ declares to be divine, whether
You
it be
said either explicitly or implicitly. So
Yes,
I think
yes,
so. I think that
explicitly or implicitly.
Yeah, I think that Christ's divinity is displayed throughout the Gospels through his actions
Through
as
his
well.
own words?
I think through his own words and actions, whether explicitly or implicitly. Correct? Remember?
Okay, let's discuss that. Okay, let's discuss
Okay.
that. Okay. Where exactly does Christ either claim to be God, implicitly or explicitly, or do something that is exclusively for God?
And this seems to be throughout the entirety of the New Testament as well, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the New Testament. We can isolate it to the 4 Gospels, or we can talk about the New Testament as a whole.
We can talk about the New Testament as a whole, but I also use data from the Old Testament too, because the New Testament writers and confessional speakers are writing within an interpretive context of the Old Testament as well. So if I look at...
Sure, but
Oh,
the
so if
issue
I
with
look
that
at...
is, however...
With Base 44, a simple sentence
Okay.
becomes your website.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
So look, if I look at, for example, the Gospel of John, then the author is probably going to set up Jesus's particular ways in such a way that his divinity is displayed. says live will end in 5 minutes. Hold on, it says we detected inactivity on my account. I'm just trying to set this right so that it doesn't, shut down. Okay, so back to the conversation.
Man.
I think that there are texts that do display that, and I do think that there are ways that the authors have basically portrayed Christ to be God. Now, we can see certain authorial injunctions, like where John will, unquote, talk about Jesus equating himself with the Father, which makes him equal with God. But that is John's particular authorial injunction, and you would reject that because it's John's authorial injunction. But I think that injunction is important in as much as the author is trying to portray Christ as God, so we should interpret his actions through that particular injunction.
Hold on, the issue is, however, I'm not asking you whether or not the authors of the New Testament...
I'm not making that reason. Hold on. I never said I was making that reason. I just paused. I just paused in my sentence, Cora. I just paused in my sentence.
Oh my god.
I just paused in my sentence. I literally just paused in my sentence. Is that okay?
Yeah, a 3-second pause. Yeah, 3-second pause for
sure.
3-second
pause happens all the time. Like my mic fell down, right? So that happens.
Go ahead.
That happens.
No, don't worry, don't panic now. Just continue.
How is that panicking? Oh wait, I don't understand how it's panicking.
Continue. Don't panic. It's okay.
So why do you keep saying I'm panicking? I don't understand. Why do you keep saying I'm panicking?
This guy's getting rage baited, bro. Dude,
oh, so it's rage bait. Okay, it's rage bait. 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 It's rage bait.
Go ahead. Finish what you were gonna say. If you were taking a pause, finish what you were gonna say.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is when we do have those particular confessional authors as well, I think those injunctions are important because of the way that they display them. So when we do look at Christ in the way that they particularly claim to be God, then we need to interpret that through that lens. Of course, you reject that particular thing, but I don't want to isolate the way that they've actually shown Christ to be God from those particular divine authorial injunctions that Christ does those things there as well. Like, for example, saying, whoever sees me sees the Father. I think that something is actually pretty important. If we look at John 14, verse 9, I think claiming that when you do gaze upon me, that you do gaze upon the Father, or being able to claim, for example, that him and the Father are one. Of course, these things are more rudimentary claims of his divinity in the sense that many apologists use them. But I think that these verses are pretty fine to show the divinity of Jesus anyway. But I actually think the verse that I think the verse I want to use is John 5, and I want to go to verse 20. I think like verse 22. I think that particular discourse is good. I think all men should honor the Son the same way they honor the Father.
Okay, all men should honor the Son. All men who honor the Son should also honor the Father in the same way. No. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt. I was going to quote it for you. That's why.
Do you disagree with what I said?
It wasn't a no. It wasn't a no of disagreement. It was just a no to say I could read this. That's what I was trying to do.
Okay. Yeah. No, I was just reiterating the point that you made. So let's speak about this like very simply. So honor the Son in the same way that you honor the Father. So first issue is, let me ask you this. Do you think that honor here is going to be referring specifically to worship?
I think that honor specifically is qualified for the person that's being honored. So when we look at John 5 verse 23, for example, we've already come from a prior discourse where Christ says that he can't do anything separately from the Father, given their unity of will, of course, right? Which is the whole point of the Gospel of John, that the Father and the Son do things in unison, right? Now, my problem
do they do everything in unison?
I think that whenever they do any trihypostatic act, they do it in a particular unity. Now, I think the significations of those...
Where's the qualification in Scripture?
I think
Bro, why is that relevant, man?
I think the significations of those actions are different, but that's a different particular discourse. I was
exactly.
Wait, no. Can you hold on?
Here's what I want to do. I want to focus on John 5. I want to focus on John 5:23. I want to focus on John 5:23.
Answer the question that I just asked.
I want to focus on John 5:23.
Where is that qualification that you just gave? Can you wipe your forehead? You're sweating a little bit. Can you show me the qualification?
There's no sweat on my forehead. My forehead's been the same way all straight.
She tried to do the Elijah rhetoric. Can you wipe your forehead? You're sweating a little bit. No aura, bro.
But great rage bait though. I love the rage bait though. Continue.
Can you go ahead and justify the qualification that you just gave from Scripture with regards to the Son not doing anything out of the line with the Father?
Yeah. So I believe that qualification is given where John says, where Christ says in John 10:30 that I and the Father are one. And so that I and the Father are one doesn't have to be taken in that particular sense of ontic status, even though I take it for ontic status. But it, at the very least, is talking about the unity of will. If you just read John chapter 10, it shows that particular case there. But John 5, I think we need to focus on now that I've given the justification.
Wait, hold on. No. Wait.
Do you want to jump to John 10?
You said that the Son doesn't do anything out of line of the Father.
Yeah, that they do trihypostatic acts in unison.
Things that are not. Hold on. So you agree that there are acts that the Father does that the Son does not do, and there are acts that the Son does that the Father does not do, correct?
No, I'm saying that all trihypostatic acts are done in unison. That's what I'm saying.
Yes or no.
But when you say actions that are done by the Father, I think
He already said
hold
no.
On, hold on. I think you mean the signification of particular acts.
Can you answer the question and stop interrupting because it's very
I think you mean the signification of particular acts.
Is there anything that the Father does that the Son does not do?
Anything that the Father does that the Son does not do? If you mean the signification of an incarnational act, for example, then yes. But you don't mean that. You mean the specific principle of the action, which comes from the essence of God. That's a different thing. I just asked for the clarification.
Okay, wait, no.
Which one are you talking about?
Wait, hold on. So first off, I'm not speaking about the incarnation whatsoever. I never mentioned the incarnation.
No. I said the significational acts.
Hold on. So I'm going to ask you very simply.
Yep.
Are there any acts that the Father performs that the Son does not perform?
Depends on what you mean, and I gave the clarifications before, Cora. So could I explain the clarifications again?
Wait, so I'm asking you, yes or no?
It depends on what you mean by that. Depends on what you mean by that.
Wait, so it depends in what sense we mean that the Father
when we were talking, when we were talking before, we were talking about trihypostatic actions that proceed from the essence of God, of which there's a unity. But when people mean that there are things that the Father does that the Son does not do, for example, they could either be referring to one of two things. They could either be referring to the actual divine processions themselves, which I don't believe are actions that, pertain to an action of will, which is what an action technically is, usually. Or they could be referring to the signification of trihypostatic acts. So, for example, when we say that the Holy Spirit is the giver of life in the Nicene Creed, we're not saying the Father isn't the giver of life either. We're just using the signification of giver of life for the Holy Spirit. Yeah. So, the same way we could do with the Father, but it's not
supposition.
So, all other actions, I think, yes, they do them in that trihypostatic way.
Okay, perfect. So there are specific things in terms of actions that can be predicated to the Father that cannot be predicated to the Son, correct?
There are actions that can be signified of the Father, but when we talk about those actions, you're not talking about, for example, begetting, because begetting isn't an action of will.
Wait, hold on. Wait, there are actions that can be predicated to the Father that cannot be predicated to the Son, correct?
Actions of will, no.
Wait. I'm not qualifying what types of actions. I'm asking actions broadly.
You have to. Hold on.
I'm saying
you're saying
broadly.
That there are, broadly speaking, actions that
yes or no?
No, there aren't any actions in this particular way. Do you think that the hypostatic processions are actions? Do you think the hypostatic processions are actions? Obviously not.
I never mentioned anything particular. I'm asking you a question. Is there any action that can be predicated to the Father that cannot be predicated to the Son?
So when you say actions, if we use the distinctions that we're saying before, no, because those are things generated from the will.
Did I give you any distinctions?
I gave the distinctions because you don't want to give any, because you want to have a broad statement.
I'm not asked. Wait, hold on, because I'm the one asking the question, so I'm the one that gives
exactly
the
because you're seeking clarification, but it's either you're seeking clarification or the time is loaded.
Are you going to answer the question? Yes or no?
I did that already. I referred to what I said before.
Okay, so yes or no? Are there any actions that can be predicated to the Father?
I refer to what I said before.
Yes or no? Stop
I refer to what I said before. There's no panicking. Deal with what I said. Deal with what I said. Could you repeat to me what I said?
Yes or no?
Could you repeat to me what I said, Cora?
Yes or no?
What did I say? What did I say?
Any actions
what did I say?
that can be predicated to the Father that cannot be predicated to the Son? You want to know what you didn't say? You didn't say yes or no. So I'm going to have to hear that from you.
Actually, I said yes if you mean this, no if you mean this. But you weren't able to qualify, which means it could be yes or no, right? Which means it could be yes or no. Thank you, Cora. Thank you so much. So it could be yes or no. I can't believe that this was the thing that you were trying to do. This is insane. Not in the same sense.
Is it yes and no?
Not in the same sense.
So which one is it? Yes
Not
or
in
no?
the same sense. So in the sense.
Sig, are you
right?
Stuck
in the
right
sense.
Now? Yes
in the.
Or no?
Am I what? Sorry. What did you say?
Are you stuck right now?
Am I stuck? How would I be stuck here, Cora? How?
Yeah, because you're not giving a yes or no. It's very obvious that you're stuck.
No. It means
yes
that I'm actually using clarificatory language to be able to distinguish what I'm saying.
Lord.
So, Cora, here's what I'm doing. If by action you simply mean
predicated of the Father that cannot be predicated of the Son,
if by action,
is our yes or no to unqualified things? Yeah, that's their main technique.
If by action all you mean is a specific production of the will, no. But if by action, when people typically mean by act, they specifically mean some sort of divine procession, then yes, the Father begets the Son. But no one in the Christian sphere in Orthodoxy defines an action that way, because we believe action is a production of the will, of which the Father and the Son have the same will.
Perfect.
So I gave the distinction, didn't I, Cora? I gave the distinction. Thank you. I love this. It's amazing.
Now we can work with
Life
that,
is way
Sig.
too short, guys.
We can work with that, Sig. That's
okay,
perfect.
work with it. Because
so
we've gotten away from John. We've gone away from John. We've gone away from John. Now we want to go back to John? Let's go back to John. Let's go back to John.
I'm taking you back to John.
Because we've justified the scripture now. Let's go back to John.
Wait, hold on. Now that we've given that qualification, I want that qualification from scripture.
I gave the qualification from scripture of the unity of act.
Qualification. Wait, hold on. So there is qualification from scripture that there are actions that the Father does that the Son does not do, and simultaneously there are also specific actions that are predicated to
Whoa. When we say actions, remember the two senses I gave? The only two senses. Okay, so you are aware that when you say action, we are not using the Orthodox sense. So let's continue with the Orthodox sense.
Wait, hold on. So I'm
the
asking
Orthodox
you,
sense of action. No.
Wait, hold on. Is there any scripture to justify the qualification that you made?
Yeah, if we take action specifically in the broader sense of just something that is apparent in the world or something apparent in reality, like begetting, for example. But Orthodoxy doesn't define begetting as an action as that produces from the will, like I said before. So if we are doing the strict terms, obviously not. But I think what you specifically mean is when you say something more broadly, because you were using the term action broadly, right? And I was being charitable
Indeed,
there.
I was.
Now, exactly, which would be inaccurate for Orthodoxy. Thank you.
That's not
which would be inaccurate for Orthodoxy.
Correct?
Wait, when does Orthodoxy define action simply something that corresponds to reality? Where?
Okay, perfect. Hold on. So the issue is with this, and this is again a dodge. You're
not going to answer the question, Cora. You have to answer the question.
And you need to engage with the substance because we're tying this back.
The substance of the point. I know, because you're live.
Yo,
now. Are you live now? I know. Hold on, I just want to check if you're live. Are you live now? You have to be live. You have to be live. Ah, you're not live. Okay.
No, I'm not live.
So here's the thing. So Cora, here's the thing. So like I'm saying, the substance.
Thank you for the plug, man.
So the concept.
Hold on. Wait,
remember the substance of the conversation. You interrupt me as well, which is fine. And it's crazy how you're trying to draw this back here. So the substance of the conversation was number one, showing scriptural passages where I think Christ's divinity is present. I think Christ's divinity is present here in John 5.
This is just a rhetoric battle, bro.
23. Now we haven't been able to discuss that. I wanted to give some prior context showing the unity of will.
Wait, hold on. We are going to discuss that.
And then you said, where is that found in Scripture? Because you didn't think that distinction remained. So then I went to John 10, verse 30 to demonstrate that. Now we're circling back to this particular point here.
We're drawing this back to John 5.
John, which
verse? You're giving specific qualifications of one. Wait, John 5 verse 22, correct?
22 and 23, yeah. Pardon me.
Okay, 22 through 23. Perfect. Now, my issue is this, my friend. You're going to have to engage. The reason as to why I asked you for scriptural justification for the qualification that you're giving is because I asked you a simple question that you didn't answer around 10 minutes ago, which was, does honor here specifically mean worship?
Oh, no, that doesn't have to do with that, though. Honor does mean worship in this context because of the person the honor is tied to. So if we look at
because it's tied to the Father, correct?
So the honor is tied to the Father, and the word for demi is specifically the correct opinion or honor that you would show the Father. So whatever way that you would show deference and respect to the Father, that same level of deference should be shown to the Son.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. So this is referring to worship because of the fact that it is referring to the Father, and it's initially being predicated onto the Father. It's saying, honor the Son in the same exact...
No, they didn't remove the ban thing, bro. Can't invite anyone up.
That you honor the Father. So if I utter a statement such as, you must honor Sig just as you honor God, am I saying to worship Sig?
So you're telling me I can straighten my teeth
That's irrelevant.
4 to 6 months?
Honor is about veneration.
£38 a month.
If you say honor Sig the same way you would honor God, you would claim that I and God should receive the exact same honor. Yes.
Okay, and that's referring to worship, correct?
If it depends on the particular person that's involved there. So if you say, for example, honor the Son the same way that you honor the Father, then yeah, that would be that, because you would honor God by worship.
Okay, wait. So we honor God.
But if I
by
say,
worship.
for example,
But
for example, if I
wait,
said,
hold on. Can you
I want
honor
to give a
God in other
clarifier.
ways? Wait, can you honor God in other ways, or is it exclusively worship?
So I know that there are multiple ways that you can, for example, with proskinesis. Proskinesis is a way that you could honor God. But the problem is the term for themi is meaning in exhaustive sense. So it's the exact same way that you do for the Father. So anything that would be proper to the Father is given to the Son too. Like if I look at the term, for example, where is this? It says Timosi ton ion, kathos Timosi ton patera. Basically, literally give the same level of deference to the Son, the same way you would give the same level of deference to the Father. It's exactly the same way.
Okay, now let me ask you the question one more time so we can go ahead and read some scripture. If I say that you must honor Sig the same way or just as you honor the Father or you honor God or whatever it may be, that is me saying that you are deserving of worship.
If they use, well, if they say kathos, then we will inquire. What's the verse you're thinking of?
Wait, no, I'm asking you a question. I'm not.
No, I don't want to do any gotchas. What are you thinking of? I don't want to straw man.
I'm asking you a question.
I want to see what verse you're bringing. What verse are you bringing?
I'm asking you. Don't
what
get
verse are you
scared.
bringing?
Answer the question. Don't.
Well, it has to. Well, it has to be in the same. It has to be in the same way. But I don't want to say what verse you're talking about.
Just answer the question.
I did.
Don't freak out and answer the question.
I'm not freaked out. What's the evidence I'm freaked out?
You are freaked out. So answer the question.
How am I freaked out?
Because you're not answering the question.
Because I'm answering the question by asking for the verse?
Because you are not answering. I didn't quote a verse.
You said that there's a verse in the Bible, and you said if there was another verse in the Bible. So there's no verse in the Bible then?
Wait, no, I never mentioned a verse.
Is there a verse in the Bible? Is there a verse in the Bible?
I just asked a question.
Is there a verse in the Bible? I'll answer it.
Are you gonna answer?
If they use the specific linguistic, if they use the linguistic items that we need to look for, then yeah. But what verse in the Bible are you referring to?
I never mentioned a verse in the Bible. So
you're not mentioning a verse in the Bible?
If an individual, so we agree
wow.
that if an individual says
guys, you see what's going on? She's trying to mention a verse in the Bible, but you're not going to mention a verse in the Bible.
Guys, did I mention a verse in the Bible?
Guys, you can't do it, because is there a verse in the Bible?
Wait, did I?
Chat, ask her, is there a verse in the Bible?
Wait, did I?
Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you want to see a verse from the Bible.
Did I mention a verse in the Bible?
Put a one in the chat if you want her to bring a verse from the Bible. Put a one in the chat, guys.
You want to know exactly why you're freaked out right now? Because you know if you answer the question without asking for the verse, that's a clip right then and there.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
That's why you said don't do a gotcha. That's why you said
well,
don't do a gotcha.
I say that we shouldn't do gotchas in as much as it's not going to be genuine to the substance. But I want to make sure that you actually have a verse to the Bible.
It's okay. I understand.
Your fans are trying to spam twos, but the reality is that there are ones. The chat is trying to spam twos,
but they're getting
but the reality is that there are ones.
They're getting crazy right
the
now.
chat is trying to spam twos.
Are you ready?
But the reality is that there are ones. Please, bait me, go on. Or bait me. What's the verse? What's the verse? What's the verse? What's the verse? What's the verse?
Okay, I haven't quoted.
Wait a minute.
I haven't.
Go on. Or bait me. Spam twos.
Are you ready?
But the reality is that there are ones. Please bait me. Go on. Or bait me. What's the verse? What's the verse? What's the verse? What's the verse? What's the verse?
Okay, I haven't quoted. Wait, hold on. I haven't quoted a verse yet.
I want to see the verse. What's the verse? What's the verse?
Is it the case that if I say a human being is to be honored, or whatever it may be, just as God is, that's referring to worship?
I think that if they have the same linguistic items, yes. But if you say show proskinesis, for example, like when they, for example, in Second Chronicles, where they give proskinesis to David and God, that's not the same way because it's not timosi. Timosi is more expansive. It means all kinds of honor that would be given. Proskinesis is just bowing, like if I do a genuflection, right? But proskinesis or latrevusin is different. So you would need to show timosi or latrevusin, okay?
Okay. Perfect. So that right there, to me, also, what's interesting about that is, do you agree that honor doesn't necessarily only mean worship?
I think that honor does not mean worship in all cases, unless
What's the argument that it means worship when it's predicated to the Son? What's the argument for that?
Because it's predicated to the Father. So all honor that's given to the Father would include the deference of any particular worshipful act. So when I bow to the Father, it's not simply a genuflexure, it is worship because of the person ascribed. Now, do you have a verse in the Bible where anyone else is given kathos,
is obedience...
timosi?
Wait, hold on. Is obedience like that of obedience to the Father worship?
Is just doing the thing that the Father said, worshipping the Father.
No. I said if obedience like that.
Oh, she's probably gonna quote that. Like she's probably gonna quote some verse where it says, "Oh yeah, I know what she's trying to do."
Obedience given to the Father.
Like
is that
for example,
worship?
if I say obey this person the same way that they obey the Father, that would just be
obey, yeah. If I say obey,
I'm answering the
Sig,
question.
just as you obey God, yes.
I'm answering the question. The answer to the question is that because it's not demosi, then it wouldn't be worship, because there's a different Greek word for that, as you know, right? You know there's a different Greek word for that.
Wait, hold on. So you agree that obedience doesn't
obedience
just
doesn't
as you obey the Father.
Obedience
doesn't
mean that.
Obedience isn't a form
obedience
of
doesn't
obedience
mean
isn't a form of worship.
I didn't say that. I said that obedience would be a form of worship if demosi is included, which we are talking about here. But we're not talking about the other Greek word, Cora. So just to clarify, I want to clarify. Look, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want. I just want to clarify. Sorry, Cora. I apologize. I just want to clarify. I just want to clarify. So because I don't want to get away from the actual point, because I've given the clarifications now and I answered your question like 3 times now. Is there a verse in the Bible where someone else is told to be honored the same way they honor the Father?
Wait, hold on. We are building up to there.
There is a verse.
We're building up to Scripture. We can't get to Scripture yet.
Is there a verse?
I'm very ready for Scripture because I brought Scripture.
Right now. Wait, hold on. No, you clearly aren't. Now,
I literally brought the Scripture. It's right here.
The issue is, wait, hold on. Is obedience a form of worship alone? Obedience alone? When we liken that obedience to obedience to God, is that worship?
If obedience to God is included in demosi, then yes. But simply doing the thing that God asks you wouldn't be counted as worship, because you would agree with me that not all obediences to God are worship acts.
Wait, no, I'm asking you, is obedience to God a form of worship?
It can be, but it isn't definitionally the case that all actions of obedience to God are actions of worship. As you know, Cora, do you agree with that?
Obey God and not you can obey God and not be worshiping him in a sense?
Because the devil can obey God, for example, when he does particular commands. Yeah, the devil can obey God.
When I obey God's commandments, that's not a form of worship?
It's not conclusively, because there are times where your obedience to God could be out of a bad will or out of a bad genuflection, or you could be doing that out of the fullness of your heart. Like, for example, let's say Cain, right? Yeah. When he gets punished in the Old Testament because he gets cursed by God and he obeys that particular curse, no one's going to treat that as an action of worship or deference towards God, right? Him obeying that commandment isn't an action of worship. Do you agree?
All right, now watch this.
Wait. Do you agree? Do you agree? Wait, Cora, do you agree?
Wait, hold on.
Cora, do you agree? Cora, do you agree?
Now we're gonna have to get.
Cora, do you agree? Do you agree?
Let's get it.
Cora, do you agree? Cora, do you agree?
Can't even turn on my camera. That's great.
Cora, do you? Fine, I need you to agree. Do you agree, Cora? Wait, whoa, Cora, do you agree?
Wait, why are
do you agree? Cora, do you agree?
Oh, does this have anything to do with what's happening right now?
Cora, do you agree? Absolutely. Do you agree with what I said?
Wait, hold on. So this has
you believe? Yes, because you believe, and I'll explain why. Because you said
the verse I'm about to quote?
I don't know the verse you're about to quote, but I need you to agree on the prize before the verse. So do you agree? So Cora, do you agree? Do you agree?
Brother, instead of you screaming
Cora,
at the top
do you
of your
agree?
Lungs, wipe the sweat off of your
Cora,
forehead and let's
my face hasn't sweated yet. I've been drinking water the whole time and I'm gonna pee like crazy. So, Cora,
are you gonna,
do you agree?
So instead of freaking out, are you going to let me quote scripture?
Spam the question on Cora. Does she agree? Does she agree? We will get an agreement today. We will get an agreement today. Cora, do you agree?
This guy is
Cora, do you agree? Do you agree?
Big, this cannot be your big guy.
Cora,
no sense is the host is sweating.
Do you agree?
Hey, everybody
where is
comment.
The sweat?
Where
is the sweat?
Host
Cora,
is
where is the sweat? Where is the sweat?
Comment.
By
host
hook or
sweating.
by crook?
He's
Cora, today you will answer the question. Do you agree? My forehead glistening. There's no sweat. My forehead glistening.
Everybody's dying.
Cora,
right now,
do you agree?
Now,
Cora, do you agree?
To the scripture now?
Cora, do you agree? Cora, do you agree?
Everybody sees it.
Cora, do you agree?
Trying so hard, bro.
Cora, do you agree? Obedience is not always worship. Cora, do you agree? Obedience is not always worship. Cora, do you agree? I quoted Cain. I quoted Cain. I quoted Cain. Cora, do you agree?
This guy
Cora,
is
do you agree?
Confused.
Cora, do you agree? Cora, all I want to ask.
This is a grown man
All I want to
screaming.
ask,
Oh, your
Cora.
parents
Do you
walking
agree?
into your room trying to tell you not.
Do you agree?
Shut up,
No,
it's
my
getting
door
loud.
open. My door literally open. I'll show you. Cora, do you agree?
I'll show you.
Yeah, I can.
Brother, can we go
Do
scripture
you agree?
now?
Do you agree?
Wait, can we go scripture now?
So you agree? Cool. So you agree? All right.
Wait,
let's continue.
can we go scripture now?
Yeah, because you
Alright,
agree.
perfect.
Let's go. Thank you for the hat, guys. So Corey, you agree? Let's continue.
Okay, perfect. So there's no issue with me saying that you can obey Sig just in the exact same
No,
way
no,
as you
no,
can
no,
obey
no.
the
You
Father, correct?
you know what we're asking for. So there's
Wait,
no
there is no
issue.
problem with that,
There
correct?
is no
There's no
problem.
problem with that.
I'll be fair with you. I know that there is no problem with obeying God that doesn't constitute worship automatically. So if I
Can
have,
you
for
submit
example,
to God in the same way as can you submit to someone in the same exact way as you submit to God? And
now
that not be worship?
submission and obedience aren't exactly the same thing, though.
No, and I'm asking specifically about submission now.
Now you're changing it from obedience to submission.
No, I'm asking you
Let's
a
go to
question.
the
We're
verse.
getting
Let's
some
go
questions
to the verse. Let's go to the verse, man. I want to see it.
Wait, hold on. I'm asking you a question.
Now you don't want to go to the verse.
Can you submit to a
Wow.
human being?
Wow.
Wait, hold on. Can you submit to a human being the same exact way as you submit to God, and that's not worship?
Well, the Greek word latrevusi, that's the only word for submission for God. Like literally, you should not bow
Wait,
down
and
to them or serve
wait,
them.
hold on.
You can't give
So
latrevusi to a human being.
Wait, I'm asking specifically. Is there a problem with me submitting to a human being in the same exact way as I submit to God?
There is an issue with latrevusin. So the Greek word, obviously, because I'm using the Septuagint, right? Because that's what I believe in, right? So the only word for submit when it applies to God is latrevusin. Other words like proskinesis, right, are fine. Proskinesis is fine. You can give proskinesis to anybody. But latrevusin, you can only give it to God. That's why when we translate, for example, in Exodus, we say, you shall not bow down to them, nor either serve or submit to them. So latrevusin. So I want to ask you, is latrevusin given to any other human being in the Bible apart from like a
Wait,
Jesus
hold on,
character?
wait, you can't. Wait, no, wait, hold on.
Dude,
We're
I
not
can't
flipping questions right now. We're not flipping questions.
I can ask because I gave
Wait,
an
no,
answer.
hold on.
Cora, you
We're
know
not
I can.
flipping
Cora,
questions
you
right
know
now,
I
bro.
can as well.
What
Cora,
we're gonna
answer the
have to
question. Do you agree? Do you agree?
Oh my goodness.
Do you agree?
Oh my goodness.
Do you
So
agree?
so we already agree that there is a form of submission that can be given to God and humanity simultaneously, correct?
Proskinesis can be given to both.
Can it be can you liken it to the worship? Wait, can you liken it to the submission of God?
Can you liken it to the submission of God? No, because we have a different word in Greek for that.
Wait, so if I say that I submit to somebody just as I submit to God, is that a problem?
If you say I give proskinesis to this man the same way I would give proskinesis to God, that's fine because you're just doing an action of genuflexion. So if I bow to the king,
so I can submit
and
to.
I bow to the. Can I finish my point, Cora? Cora, can I finish my question?
What
Can I finish my point?
polytheist.
What
You
a
can submit
crazy
to a
clip
human
from that was.
just as
But
you
I never
submit
said
to
that.
God.
Cora, did I say that? Did I say
You
that?
can
Cora, did I say
submit
that?
to a
Cora,
human
did I say
being
that? Cora,
just
did I
as
say that?
you
I didn't say that.
submit to
So
God.
I said you can give a particular genuflexure to a king, and you can give a genuflexure to God. However, you
my
can't
God.
submit. You can't submit. You can't submit because you can't give latrevusin. Like I said, Cora.
Oh my gosh. So
Cora, you
but
can't
my
give
question was
latrevusin.
explicitly
She's
this.
trying to clip phone.
My question was specifically this, and
Mhm.
he had no problem with it. Can you liken the submission of humanity to the submission of God? Can you
No,
say that I
I
submit
said-
to this human
I
being
said-
just as I submit to
And
God?
this is my answer the same way. I said submission in Greek means latrevusin. You can't give that to a human being. But proskinesis, which can be translated in English to submission, can be given to human beings and God. But I'm not saying you can
Okay, perfect.
submit
Then
to
let
God
me
in
ask
this
you-
way.
perfect. Then
Because when
let's
we say
translate that
I'm
over.
gonna
Let's
finish
translate
my
that
point.
over.
I'm gonna finish my point because I let you speak. So my point clearly was that you can't give latrevusin, which means submission. So you can't do that. So you can't clip farm me out of context. Otherwise, you're being dishonest. But you can give proskinesis to a man and you can give proskinesis to God at the same time. But you haven't brought a verse yet. Is there any other verse where latrevusin is
All right.
given to any man?
Perfect. Don't worry. We're gonna
You
do
can't
this
bring
right
it,
here.
can
So
you?
the issue
You can't bring it, can you?
dodged, Wait, hold on. He dodged the question that
Cora,
I
you
asked.
can't bring it, can
I
you?
didn't ask about the specific form of worship only being given to God, also simultaneously being given to man. So let me
No,
ask you this. When
no.
we
I
talk
was
about
talking to you about
hold on.
submission. I was talking about
Wait,
submission.
hold on. Yeah, we're talking about submission. So let me ask you
Yeah,
this.
and
So
submission
when
means
we speak
latrevusin
about-
in Greek. That's the
Okay,
thing.
wait, hold on. Is there okay?
Cora,
so
bring the
there
verse.
is a Greek word that is used, and you agree. Proskuneo is used not just for God, but also for human beings, and it's not
What did you say?
exclusively some sort of worship.
Wait, what did you say?
Proskuneo.
What?
Proskuneo.
You mean proskinesis?
Okay, you're a bit. Brother, you don't need to start spamming random words.
So no. Proskinesis is the word that you're saying.
Is that given?
Proskinesis is just bowing
only
down.
to God? Wait, hold on. Is that given only to God, or is that given to God and man?
What does the term proskinesis mean?
Wait, I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, what is proskineo? The word that you're using. Proskineo.
Can it be predicated to both God and man?
What does the term proskineo mean?
Can you wait? Hold on. It can be reverence. It can be respect, or whatever it may be.
Okay. Does it ever mean submission?
Wait, can it be predicated to God and man?
Does it ever mean submission?
Wait, answer my question.
Does it mean submission, Cora?
Just as I answered yours.
Does it mean submission? I will after this. Does it mean submission?
Can it be predicated to man
She
and God
doesn't know. Oh my gosh, you don't know. Cora,
wait,
Cora, wait, Cora. Remember, we're talking about submission.
Can it be predicated to God and man simultaneously?
Cora.
You don't know who's worse.
I can answer your question.
I'm asking you a question.
And I'm answering.
Can it be predicated to God and man simultaneously?
I'm answering.
It's a yes or no question. Can it be predicated to God and man simultaneously?
It means, it means submission? Is that what you're saying? I just want to be clear.
No, I never made that claim.
So it doesn't mean, does it mean submission?
No, never made that claim.
So it doesn't mean submission?
Never made the claim it meant submission.
So then we should talk about the word that means submission, correct?
Wait, but you're the one that mentioned that word, so we're talking about it now.
I talked about that word because it doesn't mean submission, Cora.
I am understanding that. I'm asking you, can the word that you use be predicated to God and man?
So the word that I use for submission is latrevusin. Can we use that?
We're not talking about that word anymore. We're talking about...
Yes, we are. We're talking about the word submission. Cora, we're talking about the word submission.
Not anymore. You mentioned...
Yes, everyone. Wait. So we're not talking about submission anymore? Cora, so we're not talking about submission anymore? Hold on. Cora, so we're not talking about submission anymore?
They're literally talking about submission. This is sad.
So we're not talking about submission anymore?
Answer the question.
So we're not talking about submission anymore?
Predicated to both God
so we're
and
not
man?
talking about submission anymore?
Answer the question.
I just want to be clear about what I'm trying to answer. Cora.
Wait,
I don't know what I'm trying. I don't know what I'm trying to answer because I want to be clear with you. So when you say hold on. Because remember, we're talking about submit to man the way we submit to God. That's what we're charitably doing. But the problem is, I brought the Greek word which means submission, which is latrevusin, or in your terms, latrevo. Okay. Now you haven't brought a verse that has that specific word. I brought proskinesis to show you there are times where proskinesis is given, but that's not submission. We know that. We both know that, but you never made that claim.
Wait, is it worship?
No, it's not absolutely worship in every case. That's the difference.
But it can be. But it can be, correct?
It can be worship given the context.
In some context,
given the context, yeah. There are times, for example, for example, right? When Christ is given proskinesis, obviously establishing the fact that he's God already, then yeah, proskinesis given to God is given to...
if you presuppose that he's God, yes. If you presuppose that he's God, sure.
But if there's a person, hold on, I want to be clear. I want to be clear. So hold on, I was in the middle of my point.
However,
repeat my position. What's my position? What's my position?
I understand your position.
I was about to add something.
If it's predicated to the Father, the Son,
No. Not exactly.
It is referring to worship. However, if it's predicated to a mere human being,
not exactly. Not exactly. No. Do you
agree or do you disagree with what I said?
I disagree with what you said because it's not complete. Because I was in the middle of speaking. So
wait,
what I was saying.
Do you disagree with what I said? Wait, hold on. Is there any portion of what I said that is incorrect?
Incorrect in as much as it's incomplete, yes, because things can be incorrect as much as they're incomplete. So as I was saying, Cora, the caveat to that, and this is even seen in the literature and the text as well, is when you give particular deference to someone in a combination. So for example, God could accept the genuflectures that you would give to a human being, like normal particular actions. Like if I physically bow down to a king, I could, just as that same particular physical action, not the intention behind, just the physical action, I could do the same thing to God when I do it in the temple, for example, right? Now, the difference between the proskinesis for God is that's usually given alone. But there are times where God and creatures are together, and creatures simply bow in respect towards the place, so they're given that particular veneration, and that's it. Now, what I'm looking for is the word for submission, because the conversation is on submission. Is there any word for submission?
No, I mentioned obedience, and then I mentioned submission. Wait, hold on. I mentioned obedience first, then I mentioned submission, and you mentioned reverence and respect and so on and so forth.
But Cora, remember, the reason why,
rambling, so you're gonna
it's not a ramble, you know that. The reason why, it's not ramble, you know it's not rambling. I do want to let you speak because I don't want to be uncharitable. I don't want to be uncharitable, but what I'm saying...
Nah, it's just me like preying her, you know, Pre the debate.
You are gonna let me speak. So the problem.
I want to let
however,
you
is
speak, but I need to make sure that we're not strawmanning each other in this case. So that's what I want to do.
You gave me an wait, hold on. I mentioned submission, and you said, okay, there is a word that is used exclusively for God,
submission.
And then there are
no,
other,
not
wait,
for God, not for God, not for God, not for God.
I am aware. However, the point that I'm making now is because now we're talking about what you mentioned, and we're going to expound on it a little bit.
That's not the point that I'm saying. That's not the point that I'm saying.
Which can be predicated. Wait,
that's not the point that I'm saying. That's not the point I'm saying. And you know that as well. But I'll critique you.
You're gonna have to let me talk now. The issue is I'm asking you very simply. When we're speaking about the Greek word that we just used with regards to reverence or respect,
no, the one for obedience, the one for obedience, the one for obedience.
About obedience and submission.
Yes, we are, Cora. Yes, we are. You've been following the conversation. Are you not tracking?
Wait, hold on. We're talking about reverence and respect. We're talking about the Greek word that is given to, according to you, Jesus. And if you presuppose that he's
Cora,
God,
this is crazy. You know, chat can see this.
Oh my
this is the problem.
This is so embarrassing.
This looks so. This is a bad look, Cora.
You are panicked.
I'm not panicked. I'm just saying that this is a bad look for you.
Panicked.
This is a bad look for you.
Let me ask you this.
But here's what I'll do.
Ask you this.
I'll let you finish all your sentences.
Wait, hold on. Wait, okay. So.
Now that I look at this one, it's looking like a 50-50, 60-40. It's not the best. Not the best.
This is an airplane. This is Mouse Luggage, and we want you to invest in our company.
That was it. Is that Muhammad disagrees with Jesus and the previous. None other than Cora the Explorer herself pops in on the scene. Now, our guest says something very interesting because he says he's trying to be fair. He says he's not going to try. He doesn't like double teaming, which, I mean, honestly, y'all know me. I get as many as you can. However, he said this.
Let's not both jump on him at the same time. When he wants to talk to you, he can say that. I'll back off if he feels like he wants to talk to you, but I'm letting her up here for a second.
Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting. Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're paying attention. What was our subject? Whether or not Jesus teaches that he is the Son of God who was sent into the world to give his life as a ransom for many for the remission of sins. Because if Jesus taught this, bye-bye Islam. Do you think Cora the Explorer is going to stay on topic?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up?
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you for asking. All right, well, while he's gone, I wanted to engage with one of the points that you made previously. So, you believe that Jesus taught that his crucifixion ended sin sacrifice, correct?
That's not what I said. But what I said
Is that not
was,
your belief?
What I said is that Jesus taught that he is the Son of God who came into the world to save the world and to give his life as a ransom for it. If you disagree with that part of what I said, then that's what I mentioned.
Exactly, which is his sacrifice putting an end to sin sacrifice, correct?
That's not what I mentioned.
Wait, you don't believe? Wait, so Jesus coming and being a ransom for the world doesn't put an end to sin sacrifice?
It puts an end for the need of any sin sacrifice for your salvation, but that doesn't get rid of the tradition of sacrificing bulls, because we see that they do that even later. Do you disagree, though, that Jesus taught that he's the Son of God who was sent into the world to give his life and pour out his blood for the remission of sins?
All right, perfect. I believe that theology is inconsistent with what the New Testament teaches, especially the teachings of his disciples, for example, James.
Now, is that...
That's irrelevant to whether you believe in it or not. What?
I asked. Is that what I asked? I hope you guys are paying attention, because these are the subtle tactics of the Dawagandas. Usually, what they'll do, instead of dealing with what you asked, because it's a little too difficult for them. Those waters are a little, they're not steady enough. They're not confident in that area. What they will do is they will try to shift the discussion in a completely different area that goes along with their script. My question had nothing to do with whether or not the sacrifice of Jesus puts an end for long.
and do the Muslim shuffle. Okay, perfect.
Right. So you mentioned very
Okay,
briefly
perfect.
that
Okay,
although
perfect.
it put an end to the need of sin sacrifice, this doesn't necessarily eliminate the tradition. Now let me ask you, were the disciples later practicing sin sacrifice?
Yeah, no. So let me just kind of backtrack here because I don't feel like you answered the question. I asked, do you believe that Jesus taught that he is the Son of God who was sent into the world to give his life as a ransom, pouring out his blood for the remission of sins? What you responded by saying was, I believe that that theology is inconsistent with New Testament theology. So that's not really an answer to the question. So do you believe
Yeah, it
Jesus
is an
taught
answer.
this or no?
No, not in the way that you try to portray it.
Not in the way that I try to portray it? Is
Uh-oh.
that what I asked, Cora the Explorer? Do you guys see it? I asked a very specific question. She shifts her response to something I didn't ask. Did Jesus teach that he was the Son of God, sent into the world to give his life as a ransom for many for the remission of sins? Not in the way that you try to portray it. So is that a yes, he did, just not in the way that I mean it? Answer the question. I'm telling you guys, it's so easy to catch this stuff. I want you guys to pay attention. When you guys are in these situations, slow it down, pay attention. May the Lord give you discernment to catch these liars in their tracks.
Because the issue is when you make the claim that Jesus taught that he is the Son of God and his sacrifice was a ransom for mankind and that he put an end to the need of sin sacrifice, that is inconsistent with New Testament theology. So unless you want to say that the New Testament is inconsistent, then no, I would not grant that Jesus taught that in the way that you attempt to portray.
Okay.
Now, since I've answered that question,
pause there, 'cause
I wasn't done speaking.
Okay, because it sounds like you're about to move on
Since
to
I've
something
answered
else.
your question.
No, you didn't.
No,
though.
I mean, I answered your question. I said
you
not in the
didn't.
way that you attempt to portray it, such that
That's not an answer to my
Jesus-
question, Cora.
it is an answer to your question.
Look,
actually.
look. So saying not in the way that you think implies that you do believe he taught this, just not in the way that I frame it. So
No, I don't believe that Jesus taught that.
Thank
no.
you. So
Okay,
there it is.
great.
That's the answer. So the answer
How-
is no.
Yeah, I do not believe
I
that
got you.
Jesus taught.
I
Wait,
got
hold
you.
on one moment.
I got you.
I'm going to clarify exactly what my
Okay.
answer was. I do not believe that Jesus taught that his sacrifice put an end to sin offering or the necessity of sin offering, which is Christian theology.
So then you do believe that Jesus taught that he gave his life as a sacrifice then, right? You just don't believe that he taught that it put an end to sin offerings. Is that it? 'Cause that y'all let me know unless I'm just not catching it. See, when I ask the direct question, it's yes, no, no, I don't believe that, but then she says something that implies she believes this. It's these are the Dawa tricks. My goodness, the roller coaster, on and on and on.
And the
Okay,
reason
that's
as
not what I
to why
asked
that is for two. Wait, is that not part of
That's
what you
not-
said? You
that's
said
not what I
Son of
asked
God.
you.
Wait, you said Son of God, ransom for mankind. I
Mhm.
said, okay, let's take Christian theology to the fullest.
Do you believe
what
he
the
taught that?
theology is about? No, the theology.
can we get
of
into that?
Jesus? Wait, hold on. I'm in the middle of speaking. Yes, we can get into that, but we can
Okay.
get into that when I'm done talking.
Yeah,
Okay?
because it sounds like you're
So,
moving from
the
point
point
to point,
that's being
Cora.
made.
We gotta
No,
focus.
I'm not moving from point to point. I'm answering exhaustively. So
No,
the
yeah,
point
I don't.
that's
Not,
being
not
made
everything needs to be said
is that-
exhaustively. If it's a straight,
Wait,
look,
I mean,
if it's a short little
wait,
thing,
obviously
we gotta be able to
everything
engage.
needs to be. Yeah, absolutely. We are
Okay.
going to need to engage, and in order for you to engage with my points, I need to flush them out correctly.
But you're not
So
making
please listen
points.
to the
You're
words
trying
that are
to-
saying.
You're trying to address
It's
my
a
points.
qualification. No, it's a qualification for my
Not
answer.
having
Now,
a meta
You don't
talk.
my
have to
answer
qualify
is that
everything, Cora.
Jesus. I'm in the middle of talking. Please just calm down. It's okay. The point that's being made, Logic, is that when we take your theology as a whole pertaining to the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, no, I do not believe that Jesus Christ taught that his sacrifice put an end to the necessity for sin sacrifice, which is
That's a
reflected
shift.
within your Christian theology.
Okay, no
Do you
worries.
agree that
That's-
Christianity
that-
teaches that?
That's a shift. I don't care
Wait,
about
can
that
you
right
answer
now.
the question?
Hold on,
Do you
Cora.
agree that
Cora,
Wait, can you answer my question?
One second, Cora, because what you're
Wait,
doing.
can you answer my question?
Hold on, Cora. What you're doing is shifting the discussion. We can talk about that'll be phase 2. Phase
Can you
2,
answer the question,
hold on,
Logic?
Cora. Hold on, Cora. Now let me be exhaustive, right? Let me be exhaustive. Calm down.
I mean, I gave you an answer
hold
and
on.
I qualified,
but
so
you
can I get an
didn't.
answer?
No, your answer was yes, no,
I said
yes, no.
wait, no, I said
So Cora,
no,
let me
and
get it
then I
out just like you
qualified.
just
can
like
you
I let
answer?
you get it out, Cora. Let me get it out.
Go ahead and
now.
answer,
I
okay?
appreciate it. What you did and what you're trying to do is shift the discussion. The discussion isn't about whether or not this is the final end of sin offerings. The question was, do you believe that Jesus taught in the gospel that he is the Son of God that was sent into the world to give his life and pour out his blood for the remission of sins? Your answer is flip-flopping. At first you're saying not in the way that I think, which implies yes, you do believe that, but just not in the way that I believe it. But then when I brought that to you, you're saying, no, okay, no, I don't believe that. But then you're flip-flopping it back to your first answer. So before we get to whether or not this ends sin offerings as a whole, let's deal with phase 1. Did he teach this at all? Did Jesus, it's a yes or no. If you don't believe that, we can get into it. Did Jesus teach that he's the Son of God who was sent into the world by his heavenly Father to give his life as a ransom for the remission of sins? Yes or no?
All right, beautiful. That's a great question.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna go ahead and flush out
It's
exactly
a yes
what
or
that
no.
means,
Answer
because
the
it
question,
seems we're
please.
gonna have to break down what Christian theology is.
It's a
theology
yes
is
or
for
no,
God logic.
Cora, and then you can expound. But I want an
Can you
answer.
calm down? Oh, I want a yes or no for my question.
Your question
Can
is
I get a
segue.
yes or no for my question?
Your question is off
Wait,
topic.
hold on. Can I get a yes or no for my
You
question?
will once we get to that topic. I promise you.
No,
But first
wait,
you
hold
gotta
on, Logic.
focus.
I think you have a fundamental misunderstanding of how this
Can you
conversation
answer the
is going
question,
right now.
Cora?
So I answer questions when I get my questions answered.
Cora,
so
can you
Logic,
answer the question,
instead of
please?
you interrupt, hey Logic, do you mind not interrupting?
Cora, do you mind answering the question?
Interrupting kind of feels like
Cora,
you're kind
do
of
you
panicked.
believe that
can you do
Jesus
me a
is the Son
favor?
of God?
Can
That
you
Jesus
do
taught
me
he's
a
the Son of
favor?
God that
Can
was
you
sent
do
into
me
the
a favor
world
and
to give his
calm
life as a
down?
ransom, and
Why
that
are you
belief
so
in him
panicked,
brings
Logic?
remission of sins.
This is a civilized conversation.
Do you believe that Jesus taught
Why
that?
are you so
Yes
panicked,
or
Logic? What is
no,
going
Cora?
on here?
Yes or no, Cora?
What is going on here?
Yes or no,
now,
Cora?
It seems we're gonna have to break
Do
down
you believe
Logic's
it, Cora?
question. So Jesus.
Hey, host, if she's not
does
going to engage, brother,
teach-
I want to get
Well,
back
She's
to
not
the
actually
conversation.
I'm in-
Spoiler alert.
Every sentence that Nietzsche wrote had an idea in it. Now, as I've
This
gone
guy's a
older,
yapper.
I've also
That's how it went on for the rest of the 40 minutes of the video. I kid you not. It was just simply Cora desperately trying to do the Muslim shuffle, shift the conversation to her Dawa script, and avoid answering clearly on the direct question that I've been asking from the beginning, the same question that I was talking about with the host before she came up. What they try to do is they try to tire you out. They try to weigh on your fatigue so that you get to the point where you're just like, okay, enough, fine. Okay, I'll go with you. I'll go on your Dawa script. Not this guy. This guy is gonna hold your face in the mud, hold your feet to the fire. You're gonna hate this guy because I'm gonna hound you with the same question until you answer, or I'm just gonna dismiss you and make you look like the embarrassing half-brained bot that you are, which is exactly what happened, guys. It got to the point where the host and I began to have our exchange. I completely ignored Cora at this point, to where we're having a back and forth and she's trying so desperately to fit herself into the conversation, talking over the host, talking over me, trying to get the host attention, trying to get my attention. It was bad. She looked like a pick-me. Like, chill, girl. Now, to put it simply, did the apostles continue to perform sacrifices and go to the temple prayers after the ascension of Jesus? Yes. As I said in the video, not for their sins, not for the remission of their sins or forgiveness of their sins, but because of ritual and tradition. They were still Jews at the end of the day. It was still part of their culture. And out of respect for the God of Moses and the one who gave the law, and because the law foreshadowed the Christ, they still honored the law and the custom, and therefore still gave the sacrifices, still attended the temple prayers, not for the remission of their sins though, but because that was one, part of their culture, and two, these were evangelism opportunities that they used to preach the gospel and demonstrate how these things were only foreshadows of the true substance, which was Christ. If you read Acts chapter 15 and you look at the Jerusalem Council, you see how Barnabas and Paul came to the church and they were talking about all the things that God has done through them to the Gentiles, preaching the gospel to the Gentiles, and how many people have gotten saved through believing in the Lord Jesus Christ. Not in giving sacrifices, not in doing the temple rituals, but by faith they were saved. And so then they come to the council because there are Judaizers that saying you cannot be saved unless you keep the law of Moses. And what did James, Peter, John, all of the elders, all of the church, what did they decide? They determined that even the Gentiles were saved through believing faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, just as they were, and it wasn't through sacrifices, but it's in the name of Christ that you get the forgiveness of your sins. Even James believed this and co-signed this at the Jerusalem Council in Acts chapter 15. In Acts chapter 2, in Acts chapter 3, in Acts chapter 4, you see Peter and John teaching that there's no other name in the heavens or under the heaven by which we are to be saved other than in the name of Jesus Christ. That's how we get forgiveness of our sins. The apostles were very consistent in what they believed. Cora, I would suggest that you do a little Bible study every now and then, just every now and then. W. Cora in the chat.
Oh my God. Logic.
Yeah. That was bad. So, I would say the best one is probably like Libiano. It's really Libiano I gotta focus on. I'm sniping her live today. I'm sniping Cora's live today.